This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, Marvel gives us all Geek Boner as they release a Phase 4 sizzle reel featuring our first look at the Eternals movie. Miss Marvel caught on set in costume. Guy Gardner is cast for the Green Lantern series for HBO Max, and the Monsterverse lives on. Plus, our review of the first season of Invincible on Amazon, and a whole bunch more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, May 3rd, 2021.
This is Jason Mewes, and for reasons best left between you and your therapist, you're listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Snooch to the nooch. Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
Jock it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Yeah, what's up, listener? How's it going? Welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
And joining us is a dude who's, well, he's not quite invincible. He is incorrigible. It's Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how's it going?
Good earth to you.
Good
I
earth.
got no response for this. I got nothing.
I'm sorry. I used a couple of 5-syllable words at the top there. I'm sorry if people's heads are
I'm
hurting.
irascible. I don't know.
You're irascible.
When do you come up with? Do you come up with these on the spot, or do you
just
write
like
it down?
20 minutes ago. I'm like, what the fuck's going on this week? What are we talking about? Is there a meme? This is a dumb joke. I'm going to use it.
Oh, shit.
Perfect.
I see.
Well, it's like, listen, he throws them at me. I swing and I miss, usually every time.
Sometimes you got good. Sometimes you connect and they go flying out the park, and that's always magical. It's like running a late night talk show. You got to write a bunch of jokes for the monologue. They're not all going to work. What are you going to do?
It's a gamble.
It's a gamble.
At least you're taking swings there, Imran.
I'm swinging at something. I got a bunch of steel clubs now I'm swinging around for exercise, but that's beside the point.
Steel clubs? Wait,
Yeah,
what?
steel
You went
clubs.
from a mace to steel clubs?
I've done mace, kettlebell, and now steel clubs. Yes.
Wait, this is a thing? Like
Yeah.
golf clubs? What are you doing?
No, they're tiny little, they're like what are they? 8-inch clubs that come in different weights, and
Oh, you just stick them up your ass.
yeah,
That's what you do
yeah,
with them.
Oh, these little fuckers. These like bowling pin things.
yes, they're bowling pin things, and they are tapered. So Rug Boy's suggestion would actually work. But I'm doing a durability program, and then I'm going to do like a steel club with a heavier club. So I got
Like, what's the probability that Imran ends up being like Kumail Nanjiani?
No, I'm trying to get
And, like-
the Kumail body. No, I'm trying to get
Do you finish every workout by trying to juggle these things?
No, are
These
you
look like-
kidding? I would break
These
my
look like
toes.
things you would juggle.
No, you do not want to juggle these things unless you're really good, because they're heavy. You don't want to light them on fire.
What, like 3 pounds? That's pretty
No.
heavy for you, right?
I'm going to get, I got 20 pounds. I'm going to get 20, 15, 20 pound clubs. I have a 5-pound club that I'm doing this durability thing.
Okay.
Anyways, it's a lot of fun. It's good for mobility and stuff. And I got muscles somewhere. I don't know. They're coming in.
Yeah, they're coming in.
Yes.
You got to get Imran some HGH.
We need a progress picture for you, Imran.
I've managed to lose and keep off like 15 to 17 pounds.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Since starting all this bullshit a year ago. So I feel good.
Is your belt still around
Oh,
your
it's
nipple
under my
line?
nipples. Yes, the belt line does.
All right, this is the equalizer. This
Yeah.
is for, all fat guys have to deal with this.
Yeah.
All right. If you look down,
Yeah.
can you see your dick?
I can now.
All right.
And that
that's
is
good.
exactly how I check my progress, Rugs.
Oh, shit.
All fat guys know this. This is how you check your process. You look down. Can you see your ding dong? It's
How
getting
much
better.
can you see? Can you see your pubes?
No, I can see a lot of it. Listen, my problem is I lose fat last like on my torso. Like everywhere else, I got like muscle legs now and like shoulder, but like on my torso, I'm top heavy. That's the last place the fat leaves, and it's so fucking stubborn. It's a piece of shit body, and I'm cursed with a Pakistani no torso fucking top here. So that's what I got to work with. Bad genes.
The fuck?
Anyways, what are we here for?
I remember skinny Imran.
Yeah, I'm getting back to that. No, I feel really good right now. Honestly,
Your head
like,
looks really big when you're skinny.
I feel like
Kinda
I'm in like the best shape I've been in a while. I just feel mobile and
even when you were
loose.
doing CrossFit, you're better in shape than that.
Maybe not that quite that. Maybe not completely. But for right now, for this age, I'm good. I don't need to go crazy CrossFit.
I'm in the best shape of my life
at this
age,
at this age of my life. Yes,
of my life.
Absolutely. Oh, isn't that a thing? Come on, can I at least have that?
I just was trying to get specific here.
All right, you bastards. Let's get to some geeky stuff. Enough about my exercise.
It's just so funny to talk about.
I'm glad you're interested and invested. And if anybody needs any tips on proper posture and movement, I can help you out. Look, a lot of crazy shit today. A lot of great MCU Geek Boner stuff came out. Marvel released a video today that you can kind of call a Phase 4 sizzle reel containing new logos, new titles for movies coming. Our first look at the fucking Eternals. And it all started, the first half of this thing started with an emotional kind of call of celebrating the movies with a Stan Lee voiceover in a moment in the theater. And this thing gave me fucking goosebumps. Geek boner. It gave me the feels. What did you guys think? Let's talk about the first half of this thing, the setup to Marvel Studios Celebrates the Movies. Anthony.
You know, we give them shit about their posters.
Yeah.
But whoever's on their editing team does a really good job when they're like going back to old footage and like, editing that to inspire, to make you excited. I remember they did something for Endgame where they recapped the last 10 years of films to hype up that film. So they always do a good job, and this one was no different. And I liked the adding in the audience reaction because,
Oh my God, that gives me chills every time watching that.
Yeah, like we haven't been in the theaters like that in a while, so to jar that memory back for people that did get to see that movie in the theater was very smart. Yeah.
Get lost in a story. This is where we go to escape. Ruggs, what'd you think of the first half? Did it get you? Did it get you teary?
Yeah, hearing Stan the Man.
Right.
I don't know where they pulled that fucking clip from.
Right,
but
that's a good point. Where did they get that from?
It was like a very on brand, Disney trying to be a unifier, kind of thing, like getting the whole family involved. We're all brothers and sisters in this.
It's definitely not this Stan Lee.
The fuck's going on here?
I don't know. That's not where it came from.
I like that Stan Lee too.
Fucking fantastic.
He thought it was fantastic.
That's my kind of Stan.
Oh my God, that scene.
Right. That's the kind of guy that rips people off and makes lots of money. That's what I like.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, the moment where Peter's hugging Tony and the scene in the theater and the clips of all the movies, fucking fantastic. And then in this, it's a little bit over 3 minutes, they give you a lot. They give you new footage of Black Widow, which is coming out in July. A couple of crazy new clips here. Look great. What'd you guys think of that? Anything notable here that you saw?
I mean, we all know what to expect. I mean, I don't know about you, Anthony.
Yeah, no, I mean, we kind of have a good idea of what the movie is, and I mean, it's nice to see some new footage.
Yeah,
it's also we've also been bombarded with Black Widow for about 2 years now, so
still 2 months away.
I have no complaints. I'm just saying, it's not the first thing I'm super pumped about because I've just seen so much of it right now.
True, and then we get some quick clips from Shang-Chi, and we also have some new footage of some action.
It's
and
Shang-Chi, by the way.
Shang-Chi and Simu Liu. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Simu. He wrote it phonetically on Twitter.
Yes, and that helps a lot. Thank you, sir.
Shang-Chi, Simu. I knew it was Simu Liu. That was Geek Boner, and then it just gets better as they reveal first footage of the fucking Eternals from Oscar award-winning director Chloe Zhao, Oscar award-winning movie Nomadland. And this got me excited. Geek Boner. You definitely see Chloe Zhao's style, the stuff she shot in Nomadland in these quick scenes of these landscapes. Anthony, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I'd read somewhere maybe prior to this, I think it was prior to this, that she had requested if she was going to do Eternals that she would be able to film a lot of stuff on location.
She wanted to do practical effects mostly. Yeah. Yes.
And this, some of the backgrounds here definitely look straight out of Nomadland, which is very nice to see. And not exactly what I wasn't, this movie is supposedly a space kind of thing, or I thought it was like a Jack Kirby crazy space thing. And
Jack Kirby's
it looks
Eternals.
very grounded in real world sets and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit surprising. It looks great. It looks beautiful. We only got a little taste of it, but it looks beautifully shot.
Ruggs, what'd you think of this little taste? You get to see Kumail.
It's not. I'm not. Believe it or not, I'm not impressed by Kumail at all.
I understand.
I'm more impressed by. I know it's big for you, but
they
like
featured him in the quick shot. They didn't have to show Josh Kumail, but they fucking did.
He's in a couple of shots there.
Yeah.
But like the shot that I think is the most impressive is the one on the beach.
Yeah,
where it's in silhouette.
It's beautiful.
It's perfectly exposed.
Great composition.
You have atmospheric perspective. The composition of the sun coming through.
Fucking A.
And if that's all in camera, that's really nice. I think it's undersaturated, but anyway.
Well, all their movies are undersaturated, right?
But and I feel the same way about the one in the woods. It's a little undersaturated, but if it's all that's all natural exposure and that's the way she got it in camera, fucking awesome. Yeah, and then everything else that you get to see Angelina Jolie and her crazy sword.
She looks fucking great too as Thena and her cosmic sword see through.
You also get Salma Hayek on a horse, which looks straight out of Nomadland as well.
It totally does.
Yeah.
And
Marvel kind of stumbled. I think they knew that Chloe Zhao was a good director. They obviously didn't think she was going to win. They probably didn't know she was going to win Best Picture. So Marvel kind of stumbled into something pretty awesome in that, like, a lot of people, I saw this on John Campia's show, and I agree. A lot of movie fans are probably like, what's this next thing that the best director is going to do? And she's already made another movie. And they kind of just stumbled into that marketing right there.
One of the things that I heard, and I was just like, what? I don't really agree with that. I'm like, yeah, we're looking at these shots because it's the first stuff that we've seen.
Yeah.
And it looks fine. But there is people going like, Marvel's never going to look the same. This is so different. This would never see this in another Marvel movie. I'm like, it's hyperbole right there. Because these shots are nice and they're in camera and that's all you can really say about them. They're like, not like that you'd never see a shot. Like, I could see this shot in this wood shot in any X-Men movie. Like, it looks like a shot out of any X-Men movie.
It's in the forest, yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh my God, I've never seen a shot like this before.
But
get out of here with that.
I do agree. I have a sense that this is going to be a very different Marvel movie. These landscape shots are very open. They're these open giant shots, which are different.
I feel like that it's hyperbole. I feel like, yes, there's going to be open shots. There's going to be a certain sensibility to it. I think so. But I think it's not going to be this giant leap that everyone's talking about. It's going to be a kind of like a little step in another direction, but not this crazy like leap where I don't know.
You can argue that she is like a very auteur visionary director. Like, I think this is going to be a special movie. I think it's going to be unexpectedly like really special.
I don't know. You like to believe the hype, so
I think there's two. This is true, guys. I'm also a Marvel boy, so take that for what you were.
Yeah.
But I think part of I agree that's a little bit of hyperbole. I have seen some stuff where people are already predicting Eternals will be the first Best Picture winner for Marvel.
Oh shit!
I don't know about that. I mean, we'll fucking see. We haven't even seen the movie.
Yeah.
I think where a lot of the excitement comes in though is a lot of like the past Marvel stuff. Especially like Wakanda. Like Wakanda looked good,
yeah.
But that's not on location.
Right.
A lot of the stuff they do is not on location. There's a lot of green screen. So I think just seeing that for Marvel is different. Not that that's not any different from other movies, but it's different from Marvel. And I think the pedigree of Chloe Zhao and having seen what she did in Nomadland, you're like, oh, like did they really let her do her thing from Nomadland and just translate it to Marvel?
Looks
That's kind of exciting.
That's why I think it's going to be different and very unique.
As I said that earlier. I said it's in camera, and that's why it's interesting.
Yep.
But how much can you do in camera, like in a Marvel movie? Like you at some point, you're going to need powers and effects and some unreal shit, and then you're going to get kind of pushed back into that same corner. No.
Well, the story of the Eternals also includes like cosmic space gods and a race of monster people and all this crazy shit that we're gonna see eventually. So
you can't do it all on camera.
No, they're showing us like the human side of these characters.
I mean, other than the shot of the sword, it kind of looked like it was from like There Will Be Blood or something.
Yeah, like a Coen Brothers movie or some other like weird epic movie. Absolutely.
That's why I was surprised. I was like, this is not at all I was expecting, just because I thought Eternals was a space thing. I just wasn't expecting shots on the Earth like that.
I mean, it probably starts with a flashback. Apparently, the story will span thousands, if not millions, of years, and kind of like the whole scope of man and the Celestials and the Eternals and the Deviants, who are the beginning of reality. This article, Kevin Feige, it's kind of funny. He said he saw this footage. And he was like, oh my God, that's right out of the camera. There's no visual effects work to this at all. He was shocked to actually see like a real sunset. He's probably seen so much green screen bullshit. Everything is fake. And he's like, wow, that's an amazing effect. And she's like, no, that's a sunset, Kevin. I just shot the sunset. So I thought that's
I can
funny.
only think of one Marvel movie that's had a sunset.
Yeah.
I think that was Black Panther when he was talking to Killmonger at the end. And I'm almost positive that was a VFX
Oh my God,
shot,
that's all fake. There's a lot of fake stuff. And then he also said in this article something interesting, that Cersei, played by Gemma Chan, is in fact going to be kind of the lead in this ensemble and not Icarus as it is in the comics. It's going to be Cersei.
Which one is Icarus?
Icarus is Richard Madden, is the other Stark, Robb Stark. Cersei is also the one who has a relationship with Jon Snow, playing the Black Knight, Kit Harington. So,
who's the bad guy in this?
So that's a good question. I think the bad guys are going to be deviants, the deviants that we have not met. I kind of feel like the story. So apparently I watched this video. Apparently Neil Gaiman did an Eternals run, and it's very good, and I might want to read it. And in that one, the Eternals have they've disbanded coming to Earth, and they've kind of forgotten who they are. And then a Celestial just shows up on the planet, and he's asleep, and he's just standing there, and they all kind of have to come back together and remember that they're Eternals and stop the Celestial or something. So it looks like they're all split up on the planet, living lives, and something has to pull them together, and we see them together in the forest.
I'll read the premise. This is from Wikipedia. After an unexpected tragedy following the events of Avengers Endgame, the Eternals, an immortal alien race created by the Celestials, who have secretly lived on Earth for over 7,000 years, reunite to protect humanity from their evil counterparts, the Deviants.
So it is. The Deviants are going to be and the Deviants are like a race of monster people. I'm really curious to see what they're going to look like.
Isn't Thanos part Deviant?
Thanos is a Deviant, yes. So he comes from the race of those. So
purple people?
Yeah, they're purple, but they're all in the comics. They're all different kind of monsters.
Purple butt-chinned people.
Yes, monsters and Skrulls.
Wrinkly
So did this kind of added a little bit geek boner to my excitement to this movie, even though they really didn't show us, a lot. They just showed us pretty shots.
I just know that it exists now.
Yes,
so
it's actually a thing. It's coming out in November. This year. Then they went into showing the remaining movies coming out by Marvel. So they show you
only Marvel can get you hyped about movie
with
titles.
just title cards, right? Unbelievable. Title cards. Spider-Man, No Way Home, December this year. We're getting 4 movies this year. And then they show Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And the big thing is Black Panther 2 has a name. It is now called Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Geek boner. Thoughts on this? I think it's fucking perfect.
Yeah, I think it's a good title. I mean, clearly the Chadwick's gone. I think this will be a pretty emotional movie. So putting up Wakanda Forever, maybe the movie's about like who takes on the mantle.
I think that's what they're gonna deal with, how to go forward and what Wakanda does in tribute. They're not recasting him, so no. I'm glad that is coming out. That's July 2022. And then there's a title card that says The Marvels. Oh shit! This is the new title of the sequel to Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel 2, they have removed her name because it will be Iman Vellani's Miss Marvel joining Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, and possibly Monica Rambeau.
No, she's in it too.
Oh, as Photon. So it's a bunch of cosmic people. Thoughts on this? This is interesting, and the name The Marvels means so many different things.
Wasn't it like a series with Alex Ross that came out?
It is Marvels? A Kurt Busiek, Alex Ross series about the whole entire history of the Marvel universe told by a reporter. It is also the name of the Shazam family, the Marvel family.
That has nothing to do with
it. That has nothing to do with it. So what do you guys think of that Captain Marvel gets her name kind of stripped and it's not about her, which, I don't know, I'm okay with the Marvels.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Right?
I understand that Miss Marvel is going to have different powers and stuff, and so they're going to change her origin a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out on the big screen in a movie, because we're going to be seeing it on TV. And I wonder, we're going to really get to see her let it rip in the movie. So.
The Marvels coming out November 11th, 2022. Then they give us the date.
Wait, I got a quick thought.
Yes.
I agree with Rod. I feel like Brie Larson, she's won an Academy Award.
Yeah.
But her cachet right now is like a little, I don't know, I just get the feeling that she's not as
shaky. It's shaky.
hot as she was before. Not in like physically attractive, but just like cachet name right now.
Yep.
So I think it is kind of smart. I didn't really particularly care for her performance in the other one.
So less of her will be better with other people added, you know.
And maybe Iman Vellani kills it in her show. I think overall, Photon, who is a Captain Marvel in the comics, did reasonably well. Everyone was like, "Oh, this was like a decent character." Yeah. So
I like the Captain Marvel from the Infinity War and Endgame from the Russo brothers movies. That's a cool Captain.
She was
Marvel.
barely in it, but yeah,
they used her well though.
Maybe they bring back Marvel.
Yes, that was the other speculation. Was Annette Bening? Did she die? Was she still alive at the end? I forget what happens.
That was kind of confusing.
And then there's
really
Jude Law's Jan Rog. Remember, he was, or is he Marvel? Or there's all that going on. So. But it's not the Shazam movie, so don't get that confused.
I mean, am I pumped about this? Not really, but like, yeah, at least. But adding the two, Miss Marvel and Photon, it makes it a little bit better.
Yes,
like, I feel like I'm a little bit more easy on it.
I'm excited to see it with Miss Marvel with Iman Vellani after her show. So then they show you Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and that is coming out February 17th, 2023. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has a date, May 5th, 2023. And then there's the Fantastic Four logo for a brief second. No date, just it lighting up, meaning here's what we're doing next. That was fucking sick that they threw that in there. After all this, we may see Fantastic Four next. And then another quick shot from Shang-Chi.
It also kind of lines up, right? Like this is phase 4. So they end it with the 4.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I like it all. And then it ends with see you at the movies. And you know what? We're getting 4 Marvel movies still this year, 4 Marvel movies next year, and they got dates for 2 more movies. Black Widow may be the movie that gets me to fucking go back into the movie theater. I really like it. This got me hyped up to experience a moment that they showed like that in Endgame. Again, I'm gonna go do it. That may be my first movie back.
Yeah, I might go to see that in theaters.
But then I like being able to watch it at home multiple times before we review it. So I have that. We have that too. So it's all good. Geek boner.
I want to see it in the theater. I would probably watch it at home a bunch of times. I'm excited about it, but are they going to make you pay for it? Yeah. So I don't know. I'd rather, if I'm going to pay for it, maybe I'll go see it in the theater.
This video, though, I think was very successful in doing what it wanted to do. It worked on me. I was like, fuck, I'm going to go see Black Widow in the fucking theater.
Oh, shit.
Because of this. This was amazing. I need to get back to this. So good for them.
Not only am I paying for Disney Plus, but I'm going to give them more.
I will pay him $30 again to watch it at home.
I'll save $20.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, you'll save money. Yeah. You're right.
No, but I'm going to end up paying for it again so we can watch it over and over.
Well, maybe we decide that we don't. Well, we'll see. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's going to be
probably to go into the movie theater.
Also, I feel like, does this say anything about their strategy moving forward? You don't see them they're literally saying this is where we come to hang out, see you at the movies. The day and date Disney premiere may not be around. They may not do it. Do you think they were saying it? Get that kind of feeling?
I kind of got that vibe that they were like, we're going to try to usher back movies. Like this is a thing. Yeah. The shared movie experience is still something we hold dear. And although we're doing day and date, I don't think it's like
just Black Widow.
Yeah, I don't think it's like they're in their long-term plans, but who knows what the world will look like. So
I think Marvel can be the one to really bring the cinema back huge. It's slowly coming back.
Godzilla brought
Godzilla started it. Mortal Kombat kind of a little bit, but mostly Godzilla. But then if you follow that up with 2 months, I don't know what's coming out, but the first Marvel movie in over 2 years.
Oh, shit.
Come on. This is going to be the one that's going to be like the first movie to make $500 million in post-pandemic, probably. Listener, let us know. Did you get excited? What are your thoughts? Join the conversation. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation.
Jock and Nerd.
It is an exclusive closed group just for you and us. Everyone's in there. You get to meet other listeners. Welcome this week, Joshua Michael and Scott McHattie. Welcome, lad.
Welcome.
He's a good lad, that Scott McHattie. Have you seen the sea monster? He ate my ice cream. Moving on, here's another story that came out today I thought was very interesting. Kevin Feige, another article, revealed in Rolling Stone that Benedict Cumberbatch was almost supposed to appear as Doctor Strange in Wanda Vision.
I knew it.
I think we all knew it. This is one of those things where, like, this is weird. They had struck a deal for him to appear in the last episode as Doctor Strange, but late in the process, they decided not to do it because they didn't want to take away any agency from Wanda, which makes sense. His quote is, "We didn't want the end of the show to be commoditized to go to the next movie. Here's the white guy. Let me show you how his power works."
Oh, shit.
And he revealed that the commercials were going to be messages from fucking Doctor Strange to Wanda. I said that shit. I know I said it. I was like, I think he's trying to get in touch with her. And there was also talk of having Cumberbatch appear in one of the ads as well. The head writer said, "Thoughts on this? I knew it. Things are missing." I'm glad we got confirmation.
Well, we said that when we reviewed it. There's something going on that they didn't do.
But honestly, Anthony, I'm glad that he didn't show up because I do think he was right. It was the right decision at the last second.
Yeah, I don't personally. I mean, it would have been cool in the moment. I think either way, I would have been happy. I would have been happy if he showed up.
Yeah.
I understand why he didn't show up, and I'm happy that way too. Like, if they wanted to make it Wanda's show, that's fine with me. If he would have shown up, I probably would have been like, that was awesome too. So
I feel like if you write it, if you write it that way, then it's bad. But like, you don't have to write it like Doctor Strange comes in and saves the day.
Correct.
He's just trying to help.
You could write it in a way that's still super geek boner and cool and adds to it, but doesn't take away from her.
I feel like that's like some kind of weird justification. Yeah, that's weird. But whatever.
But I knew something was up with those commercials when they just fucking didn't explain them. And those are her parents, or I don't know, something. At least they connected that. That's been keeping me up at night. Another thing revealed on another Disney show, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the showrunner Malcolm Spellman in a recent podcast did confirm there was a cut plot line from the season.
Oh, shit.
There's a lost arc, but it was not about a virus or pandemic related. He's also been told to stop talking about this because they probably want to use it somewhere down the line. Again, another thing we all noticed and felt, shit was missing.
Yeah, like the main story.
Where is the main through line of this fucking thing?
Like, whatever that was so bad that they need to use it as a plot for another movie. Like, we need to have something that's Snap related that we can fucking exploit.
I wonder what it was.
Oh, it'd be nice to have it in this, but I guess they're using it for something else.
Oh, they want to do.
Seems like both of these shows, and I'm curious if Loki will have the same. It will have affected Loki the same way, but it seems like both of these shows were in some way either directly or indirectly affected by COVID, and it changed a lot of the story or what was being filmed, and
so
made them rejigger a lot of things.
There's a new documentary episode of Assembled on Disney Plus, like they did with Wanda Vision. They released the one about Wanda Vision. They released the one about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I did watch it, and it does explain a lot of things. There's some wild shit in there. It does talk about how they were in Prague and they were shooting, and then they had to leave very quickly, and they had to come back. The truck scene that's in Germany on the trucks. We're talking about how nothing is like real in Marvel. That whole thing is entirely composited visual effects put together. They shot that in Atlanta. Madripoor was in Atlanta, but they talked about the opening scene in the first episode and how they did shoot the actual wingsuit guys, and that was like one of the hardest things to shoot, and so was the truck scene. Very fascinating, but he did say the pandemic did screw up a lot of things, and they had to fix it, and this is what they did. So I would recommend that. It's a very interesting 1 hour documentary episode.
I think they'll get better. I think
yes, Marvel, I do too.
First off, I like both shows overall. I think they're 2 for 2 in terms of just entertaining me and not being complete busts.
Yeah.
But again, I maybe I'm sounding like I'm defending Marvel, but they haven't really done TV like this, at least the Marvel Studios with Kevin Feige. So I think they'll learn from these, and hopefully they'll get better, and the shows will end up becoming maybe not Loki. Like, we may not see the effect of what they've learned in Loki, but I think eventually you'll start to see. Oh,
I think you might see it. I think every show you're going to see a little bit of correction. I mean, look at what they gave us while all this pandemic shit was happening, and they had to flip whole series releases. It's fucking amazing with all that bullshit. And I really do think I agree. Each one, hopefully they're learning and tightens up and gets a little bit better.
I mean, there is a kind of a discrepancy. You feel like that the Falcon Winter Soldier T-Files or whatever needed an extra 2 episodes at least. Or at least one more.
Yes, and Wanda Vision was probably too long for the first 3 episodes, that necessary. And it's a good point. It should have been flipped almost.
So maybe they, hopefully they'll get it. They're close. So at least that's good. That's a good sign.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're very close.
They're very close. It's going to get better. And Loki's another 6 episodes.
I respect I don't think they've completely figured out how to coalesce everything into like a coherent show where everything like it's streamlined and everything is like firing on all cylinders. But I do respect, like, for instance, WandaVision, it's a show about grief, within a sitcom reality. And then this one, like a lot of the race stuff and a lot of the questions that they were bringing up about, like, what it means to be a black Captain America and all that. Like, these are like things that they don't really bring up often in movies. And they're like spreading their wings a bit. And like, I like that they're taking a little bit of risk. But they just haven't figured out for either show how to make it like perfect yet. Not perfect, but like at least something that like coalesces into, this is like they fired on all cylinders. They hit every note.
Well, the shows that do it well, that do it in a seasonal episodic format, every episode has great arcs. And we're going to talk about a show that does this. Like, just compare it to Invincible. Every episode has its arc and 3-part story, beginning, middle, end. But then the whole thing also has a 3-act structure. So it needs to be written this way, and it's really hard. And I think they haven't completely nailed that yet with both of the series they've put up. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but at least they have their mind in the right spot in that, like, let's try stuff. Let's be a little bit more experimental.
It is very new to do, coming from movies, to do television properly. So far, though.
I'm just saying, like, the themes that they're going after.
Speaking of Miss Marvel, we have set photos.
Is that you?
It's me. I'm Miss Marvel. Just Jared captured me on set in the Miss Marvel, cosplaying as Miss Marvel. That's not really Iman Vellani. But of course,
it's Imran Vanilla.
It's Vanilla Imran. That's right. Yeah. Imran Vanilla. You motherfucker. That's pretty good. Now, look, we know set photos are never the most flattering. Imran Vanilla. That's got to be my new MC karaoke hip hop name. Yo, MC Vanilla Imran in the house. What's up, mofos? I'm about to do Brass Monkey from the Beastie Boys.
Iman Vellani and Imran Vanilla. It's so spot on.
Oh, shit.
This look, what was I saying? Set photos not the most flattering, but the suit is comics accurate. I give it give it 2 thumbs up. What do you guys think of these photos?
It's slimming. What can I say?
It's shapely on my body. Yeah, it hides my man boobs.
I mean, it looks fine. I feel like that the boots, the shoes don't quite work.
Well, she's got like Converse shoes on in these.
But I think that's something to do with she wears them in the comics.
Oh,
right?
that's right. Yeah, okay.
So I mean, it's comics accurate. Yeah.
I don't think it looks fine to me. I mean, it doesn't look. We've seen, these candid photos.
They're never the best.
They're never the best, but this one looks fine. It's comic accurate. Doesn't look silly. The domino mask doesn't look completely silly on her.
Well, I still think she looks a little bit.
I feel like the scarf needs to be fatter. That's all I think.
Oh, right. The scarf is usually long and flowy in the back, and maybe like a CG scarf. They may do a thing where all capes are CG. I just feel like she still looks a little bit young. Like, I don't know. Maybe she looks 15. I guess.
Wasn't she supposed to be like 15?
15, 16. I guess she looks 16.
What does she look to you?
I don't know. Like younger. Like, I don't know. 13.
Does she look 12?
What, 13? I have no 13. Idea. But we're used to like older people playing 16-year-olds. Maybe that's the issue. And this is actually a 16-year-old, and that's what they really look like. Which, if that's the case, phenomenal. Good. Way to be real.
Right.
Well,
she's older than that in real life, though. So
okay, yeah, she's actually 39 years old, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. She's like Emmanuel Lewis.
Yeah, she looks amazing for her age.
So I was alluding to this the other day. I've heard that she's got different powers.
Oh yes,
and that bracelet that she has on gives her powers like the Green Lantern.
Oh, she has a bracelet on one hand, not on the other hand.
So she's going to be not doing stretchy stuff because they already have stretchy people. They have Mrs. Incredible. They have, Mr. Fantastic and all that stuff.
Yeah, they don't need another fucking stretchy person.
So they're going to kind of do the thing where she can stretch, but it's like going to be energy based.
So I
like
see
the Green Lantern.
You know what's interesting what Marvel's doing here, and this ties into Eternals, and they're trying to get away from the Inhumans, obviously, in the cinematic universe, because the Inhumans are similar to the Eternals, but the Inhumans created by the Kree to kind of fight everyone else. But they were also on Marvel TV, and they had a really bad show, and it wasn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Show.
The worst fucking show I've ever seen. I couldn't watch all of it. And Miss Marvel in the comics is an Inhuman. She had the genes, and the Terrigen Mist made her Miss Marvel. Now they're gonna have to change all this for the MCU.
I mean, I heard this from Grace Randolph, and she said that it's accurate, but she's gotten stuff wrong. But then on the other hand, she's had people on the show like recently, like so.
Makes sense to me though that they would veer away from that, and then Marvel does it in the comics as a kind of primer.
Yeah, I mean, she's legit. She just had Robert Kirkman on.
Wow, really?
So yeah, to talk about Invincible.
Wow.
And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe she does know people in the industry. I don't know.
All right, good for Grace Randolph. She does get the scoop. Let's not leave out another Marvel show that has costumes. Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner. There is a behind the scenes picture he posted on his Instagram. Him with actress Alaqua Cox. Alaqua Cox? Alaqua? Alaqua? I don't know how to say it.
I like your Cox.
I like your Cox. Alaqua Cox. She's playing Echo, and we see he's in fucking purple.
Oh,
is this the first time Hawkeye has been in purple in the MCU?
He's been in like slightly purple, but never like full purple.
This is very purple, so that's kind of geek boner.
Geek boner.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it seems like these shows are really trying to embrace the comic look, or at least get somewhere close without looking too silly. I don't necessarily. I'm not the biggest fan of the purple.
Yeah.
But it, whatever. It's from the
Overall,
comics.
I feel like the MCU is getting more comics accurate. What they did, they gave us the Scarlet Witch and White Vision. I can't wait to see what they do with Moon Knight. Are they going to give us all
Falcon
white?
was comic accurate. Captain America.
Is this a good thing? Do you like this? Rugs are becoming more comic accurate?
I mean, look, the idea is when you got people that can fly around, and then it's becoming a thing, and fashion gets involved. Of course, there's going to be fucking costumes. There's going to be costumes that look crazy, that are not practical, that are more like garish and outlandish and flamboyant. And I think that that's the natural progression when you get into stuff like that. But look at what people are wearing today on the red carpet and stuff like that.
That's a good point. It's already fucking crazy costumes.
So I think that once you get to a point of high profile, you're a high profile hero, then you're going to get some tailor that's going to come and go, I'm going to make you this crazy, or some company's going to start making like Under Armour and shit for you. So, like Under Armour sponsors Hawkeye's new suit, or some bullshit like that. Or like Kanye's like, yo, man, I want to make you a suit. And you look like you're homeless. Okay, anyway, so like the costumes being crazy, that's what it should be. Where's the headgear? I want to see the fucking Hawkeye headgear.
With the fucking pointy eye mask and shit? Yeah, give me that. Give me that's like Wolverine's eye mask with purple. I mean, they waited so long to give Scarlet Witch this fucking dope costume. Same with him. I will say, you guys, we were talking about last week, Mackey's comics accurate Captain America costume and how you guys weren't fans. And how I even thought it was a little bulky. In that documentary, they talk about how they had to, after and post, touch the fuck up that costume. So where around his neck.
So it's bad from the get-go.
There's no material that will stick to your body like that they can use around his neck. When he would turn his head, the thing would fold and it would stick out and there would be a big gap. They went in, touched all that out. They touched out Velcro that was holding it together, smoothed out the seams in post, but they showed what it looked like, and then they showed how they fixed it, and they just made it form around his head. This is where all the fucking $250 million went to fix this costume that doesn't work in real life. But there's nothing like that works in real life. Like, you can't do this.
Well, you got to make it out of rubber, and it's got to have like an under thing underneath it, and you can do it, but you just have to do it right.
Cowl, that cowl wouldn't be work.
I think that you can do it. Anything can be done. And costume designers, even Marvel has the greatest ones. I think that on this particular show, I didn't really like the costumes.
I mean, Andy Park does a lot of great designs, and there's that other dude, I can't remember his name, but I don't know. It's good. That was crazy that they touched up everything. Every time you see Captain America and Sam, and they touched it up. Anyways, moving on. Some DC news. This Greg Berlanti Green Lantern Corps HBO Max series that they told us is happening is actually fucking happening.
Oh, shit.
Because they have cast a dude named Finn Wittrock as Guy Gardner in this show. That's actually going to come out on HBO Max. I'm kind of surprised because you know how they're followed
He's
through.
Guy Gardner?
He is Guy Gardner. I'm not.
That guy's Guy
Yes.
Gardner?
I am not familiar with Finn Wittrock.
I don't know who he is.
He comes from American Horror Story and he was in Unbroken. He comes from the Ryan Murphy TV universe, which is the American Horror Story and the American Crime Story series. He was in The Big Short. I don't know. Guy Gardner traditionally, describe Guy Gardner. He's a ex-military douchebag with red hair who's fucking fantastic. One of my favorite lanterns.
I feel like he reminds me of how, what's the guy's name in Cobra Kai?
Oh, Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah.
I feel like he's Johnny.
He would be.
Like he's just 80s machismo.
Oh my God, he would be Johnny in Cobra Kai. Yeah.
I always imagine him being played by Roddy Piper.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he's an asshole. He's cocky. He doesn't listen to anybody. And what's funny is why did The Ring, who looks for people with good wills, strong wills, and sometimes you have a good will and you're still an asshole, I guess.
There's a I forget what comic it is, but there's one where Guy Gardner is like mouthing off and Batman just slaps him in the fucking face.
Shut the fuck up.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. Guy Gardner gets punched a lot by his friends because he's just a jerk. And he's so great. I can't wait. So the synopsis of the show, it says Green Lantern reinvents the classic DC property through a story spanning decades and galaxies, beginning on Earth in 1941 with the very first Lantern, secretly gay FBI agent Alan Scott.
Oh, shit.
And 1984 with cocky alpha male Guy Gardner and half-alien Bree Jarta. They'll be joined by a multitude of other Lanterns from comic book favorites to never-before-seen heroes. This is the show we're getting. It's fucking crazy.
I'm down.
Yeah, you know, I'm very interested. I don't know how it all fits, like if it's part of what movie verse it's part of or anything. I am a little like skeptical because Green Lantern, even more so than some of the stuff we've seen in Marvel, is super FX heavy.
It's all effects.
I'm interested to see how much they're gonna spend on this and what it's gonna look like.
But they need to spend a lot of money because you can make a sprawling space cop epic fucking television show with these characters. Ruggs, do you have faith in Berlanti making something for HBO Max, which means it could be more adult and it won't be held back by ratings.
Essentially, like you're doing Star Trek with action, basically. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The draw of Green Lantern, especially when it's not set on Earth, is you're seeing like them go and patrol these alien worlds, and you're seeing like alien culture, alien things, and part of it is in all of the creativity of like these aliens and their whole lifestyle. And that's what's great about Star Trek. You use aliens as an allegory to kind of tell the story. So that's all cool stuff, but you got to do it with effects, right? So it's a budgetary thing. And if it looks like Cheezola, I mean, I might still check it out because it's, but I mean, is it going to like change the way I see Green Lantern, or is it going to be up to the par of Marvel stuff or like The Mandalorian? We'll see.
If it's anything like, the Titans and Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing, that those seem to have a bigger budget, but they got to see the money Marvel's throwing at these shows and be like, look, we can't fucking cheap out on this one. You got multiple Lanterns.
I mean, he's a member of the Justice League, for crying out loud. So.
And they're important, and you have all the different colored lanterns. Like, I would love for them to do this right on the small screen. I know I love it. Because of Anthony, I love the Green Lanterns now. Really.
I was really into Green Lantern at one point, so I would love to see a well-done run of what Jeff Johns produced with the Green Lantern.
One of the great asshole characters, Guy Gardner. You can't go wrong. Okay, next piece of news we'll give you guys, Geek Boner.
Geek Boner.
The Monsterverse lives on.
Oh, shit.
According to a new report from The Hollywood Reporter, Legendary is talking to director Adam Wingard, who directed Godzilla vs. Kong, to return for a future Monsterverse film.
Oh, shit.
And they said the one title being considered Son of Kong.
Geek Boner.
I doubt that's going to happen.
What does this mean to you guys? No? Why not?
No, I mean, it's a fun title because it tells you, it telegraphs that it's going to be about Kong, right? And that's kind of like a clue that Godzilla may or may not be involved here on out unless Toho and them renegotiate to get the rights back. But so they're trying to like kind of mentally prepare people to say, oh, the MonsterVerse is going to continue, but maybe Godzilla's not going to be a big part of it. Maybe in a future movie, maybe a couple of years down the line, if the franchise is still viable, maybe Godzilla will
bring him back.
You know, and that'll be a good way because you don't want to like tire everyone out, right? So they're probably going to save him for something in the future and let Toho do they're going to do their own MonsterVerse. Their Godzilla-verse they're going to start doing movies with. That's what they wanted to do. But they were waiting for this whole MonsterVerse thing to play out. So Son of Kong could happen, but I just think that I went to read the Adam Wingard Ask Me Anything on Reddit or whatever he did. And he just seemed like he's in to do the movie. And he's just throwing shit out there. And he's not really committed to anything. I don't really think that he is. He's like, I'm up for it. He's also got Thundercats and he's got Face Off to do. He's got those two movies in the pipeline. So they haven't locked it down yet. I don't think it's going to be Son of Kong. Could be interesting. Is Kong going to fuck another fucking Kong and have how much time is going to pass?
Yeah.
Is he going to find a baby Kong and like Godzilla did, like an homage to Godzilla where he finds a baby and like just takes it on, adopts it, or maybe it's not even a Kong. Maybe it's just like a Kong-like thing.
He's got a bastard child in Hollow Earth that finds them and it's like, Dad, where you been all my life? I'm down to see that.
What do you think, Anthony? What do you think is going to happen?
I think, it's clear. First off, Adam Wingard's just like blowing up.
Yeah, he's rocking it up.
Adam, Wingard as John Bellotti or Nick Shev, who just kings of speech.
Well, he does say it a lot. He does, but I mean, he's also kind of knows how to shoot some action to be fun to watch.
Yeah,
so you gotta take what you get.
I like his work.
Yeah, I think he did a very good job with the script he had in terms of making the action seem really good. I geeked out about the action. If he has a better script, maybe we can see him direct humans. Honestly, I don't think Legendary gives a shit about creating awesome human characters. They would be nice, but they just want to keep rolling this out. They didn't really have a plan. I feel like Godzilla vs. Kong was supposed to be the end, and now it's like kind of the new beginning for this. So Son of Kong would probably make no goddamn sense within the universe, but all of this is like barely tied by a thread anyway, so I'm for it. I'm here for it. I'm one of the few, I don't know if there's many that liked the original Son of Kong.
1933
you liked
Son of Kong, Anthony?
I liked it. But then again, I haven't seen it since I was a child. I just remember him holding the people up to save them and fighting the bear and all that shit.
So 1933 for this? Wow.
And that Son of Kong made no goddamn sense either, because how the fuck did Kong have a baby that was like an albino?
Hey,
like
it
Imran.
happens. Look at me.
I just think they went back to the island and then it was there. They went to get another Kong.
Right. So, I mean, this isn't like they don't really have plans. I think they're just going to throw stuff at the wall. I do like the idea of making a movie without Godzilla just to kind of show you have legs without the king. So, yeah, but, let's go. Make more MonsterVerse movies.
They've built a MonsterVerse. They have fucking a whole entire Hollow Earth that could be full of shit. Like, they have the idea of aliens kind of already established with King Ghidorah. So, why don't they kind of explore some of this stuff, and clean it up a little bit? Like, they made a huge mess last time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start placing them things in order. Do you want a franchise that lasts, or do you want to fucking burn it out and blow it? Like, they have an opportunity here to actually, okay, listen, we got people in now. People are coming in. Fucking record numbers of people interested in this shit. People have watched it at home. It's part of the zeitgeist now. Let's fucking develop this shit. And they could go for a cheap money grab and make a shitty movie again or whatever. They shouldn't, but we'll see what happens.
Well, one other thought, I just thought of this now. The more, I was originally, I think my mindset was I'm cool with Godzilla vs. Kong being the end. But I'm also kind of going to the mindset where if they keep making these movies inevitably stay within pop culture, stay within the zeitgeist, and eventually maybe the movies go away, but they're in long enough where it's like this will always be a well that future creators can go back to, and this will always this won't kill the franchise. Like by the fact that they keep doing these things means that it's always going to have legs. And that at the end of the day, I always want them to be making movies about giant monsters. So I support it in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Legendary was surprised by the box office return, so I'm excited.
I mean, we're almost at if you include King Kong, we're almost at like 100 years now of monster films.
Well, just think about this though. In the modern time, since I would say Godzilla 98 came out, right? They didn't really do a versus film. It was always about other stuff, and then there was a fight at the end, and that was it.
Yeah.
This is the first time where they really were like, this is a versus film. There's going to be a lot of monster fights. It's going to be about the monsters. They're going to play, and people responded to that, even though the movie was terrible. So what does that tell you? You got to give people what they want, and then they'll love it. They'll love you, even if you suck at everything else. They'll still respond to that visual spectacle. That feeling that you give when you're watching a fight that you can't get from dialogue, So there you go.
I love this King Kong and Godzilla vs. Kong, and I would absolutely want to see more of Kong. It's great. Godzilla, you can keep him for a few years, bring him back, give him a break.
Yeah,
let him take a nap.
He's done enough work.
He's done enough. It's time for Kong to shine.
Yeah. The dude dies at the end of every movie.
He does.
Let him fucking breathe.
Let him live
bit.
and have a family and stuff and mow the lawn. There's a lot of grass down there in Hollow Earth. He's tending to.
Yeah.
He's tending
I gotta trim all these fucking weeds. Trust me, it's a lot of work. Listener, before we get to the last story in the news segment, check out our online TeePublic shop. Visit jockandnerd.com/shop. For all your swag needs, we got t-shirts, hoodies, cell phone cases, stickers, mugs, face masks with our logo, old logo, new logo, Rug Boy's face all over your face and chest. I want to say thanks to our buddy Gerald Morris, 2Ps on a podcast. He was on the show a couple times. He posted a photo of him in the black t-shirt with the white logo.
I have that t-shirt.
It looks sharp. I like it.
Oh, shit.
Nice shirt.
Very nice. Thank you, Gerald, for buying that and sharing the photo. jockandnerd.com/shop. Okay, last thing is a trailer for possibly could be the next big buzzy summer show. It looks like something that is
based on a
comic book, a Vertigo comic book from DC, and it's the kind of thing that is right down my alley. And I mean a weird, quirky, fucked up story. It's called Sweet Tooth. They just released a teaser. It will be out on Netflix June 4th. This is based on the Vertigo series by Jeff Lemire that ran from 2009 to 2021, 46 issues. It's produced by Robert and Susan Downey Jr., and it's about a kid who is born with he's a half dog. What is he?
Half deer.
Half deer with antlers. Anthony, did you watch this trailer? And what did you think? It's fucking weird. I love it.
It's fucking weird. But yeah, this is like we're in the golden age of if you're a fan of comics,
absolutely,
of TV, a fan of like all sorts of different comics. Like every property is being invested in and thrown on some streamer because there's just so much interest in mining this. I mean, this is like, and I think it's great. I think it's great that the mainstream buzz of like a Marvel or a DC is now carried over where these Vertigo titles and these off-brand titles and all these different creators are getting all their different works put up. So I think it's awesome. I think it's great. It's not necessarily something I would have watched right away a couple of years ago, but I'm here for this. I'll watch this. Fuck it.
Well, the book, I've been told, so many people have told me this is one of the best comic books I've ever read. Sweet Tooth, it's critically acclaimed. Rugs, what are your thoughts?
I can't wait to see the Twitter feeds on this where the furries are having a field day with it.
I knew he was going to go there.
Yeah, they're going to have a fucking field day.
And people are shipping
fan art. The
people are shipping.
They're shipping the antler deer.
The alligator man should be fucking that male deer.
So quickly, here's the synopsis. Sweet Tooth is a post-apocalyptic fairy tale about a hybrid deer boy and a wandering loner who embark on an extraordinary adventure. All episodes, June 4th. I fucking can't wait. It looks so wild and crazy. and quirky, and reminds me of Doom Patrol and kind of the weird shows that I've been into. And I wanted to read this. Jeff Lemire is an amazing comic creator.
Well, it just shows like everyone's looking for content, and comics have always been there. They haven't been mined like this, and they're being mined. I mean, they're being mined to the point where it's like we might be hitting a bubble eventually. But right now, it's great.
And I've said this for years. There's still amazing independent comic book series.
There's probably way more.
So much that
there's thousands.
Thousands of great shit.
Yeah, exactly.
James Brolin, the one kind of big name in this, I don't know. Oh, and Will Forte and some other people.
Yes.
So
I would like to see the movie with Sweet Tooth versus Sweet Chuck from Police Academy.
Sweet Chuck. Oh my God. Sweet Chuck.
No one knows what I'm talking about. The one person, please comment on the fan page.
Wait, let me reveal something else to you guys. I didn't tell you that something in this trailer reminded me. First of all, the shot of the opening where they're waiting for the delivery room and they turn around and you see this deer kid with a tail and a little nose and whiskers.
Oh, shit.
It's fantastic. Here's what I didn't tell you. You do know that I do foster dogs, right?
Right.
We a few weeks ago were fostering. We got a pit bull. Her name is Jazz. She's got a jagged snaggletooth, adorable. She was pregnant. We had a pregnant foster 2 weekends ago, Saturday. Out popped 7 fucking puppies.
Oh, shit.
We have 11 dogs in our house right now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Yes, but everyone came out healthy. The mama, who is like super skinny, somehow she delivered these. And like they look like this fucking sweet tooth baby, only a little less human. Or dog.
How did the dogs you have get along with?
So our 2 golden retrievers are very curious. We kind of keep them. She has her area, but they're very curious, and the mama is friendly to the most part. But she's nursing them, and it's wild because the mom and the dogs know what to do instantly.
Oh, shit.
Like you really don't have to do anything. You kind of have to guide a couple. But she knows what to do somehow. And I want to put a live stream of the 7 puppies in this pool. I could watch this for hours. It's so fucking fascinating. Their eyes aren't open yet. They're all just jockeying for position on the nipple. And you literally see one dude come up and knock a dude off a nipple and get on the nipple.
Which one is the best nipple?
I don't know. There's enough for everybody. I don't know why they're fighting over them, but
Are we still talking about puppies?
Yes, the puppies. I think so. But look, it's fascinating. It's wild. So we're going to wean them for 8 weeks, and then we got to find them. They're going to get snatched up. Puppies get adopted quickly, but we're going to find them all homes.
Wow.
Now, do you know what it's a pure pit bull, or is it some
We
other
do
thing?
have no idea who the father is.
Look, I have a puppy question for
Yes.
you. At 8 weeks old, that's when people are recommended to start adopting puppies.
Correct.
Do the moms give a shit that the puppies are gone after 8 weeks?
The mom already gets up and takes a break from her fucking nursing puppies. In the beginning, she was all about them and they were nursing. And now it's hilarious because when they're sleeping, she will fucking leave. And then when I see her nursing, she looks fucking miserable. Like you could see it in her eyes, like get these fucking things. Cause they got
at 8 weeks, are
8
they
weeks
like,
will be plenty. She will be done with
she
them.
doesn't care.
I'm pretty sure.
The mom is done with puppies
now
generally.
the key is not to separate the litter before 8 weeks. Keep them with the mom. Some people at 3 weeks will send them to different foster homes. But my wife is read up on this. She's like, they're better socialized if you keep them all together. And 8 weeks, absolutely. The mom will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Because at some point in the wild, she's going to let them go and live their lives,
Right. But puppies are even at 8 weeks, they're so dependent.
Yeah, I will see. So far, they haven't been able to crawl out of the pool. Pretty soon, I'll be chasing them around. We're going to be like, where's number 6 and 7? Oh shit, I can't find number 5.
You're going to be cleaning up shit all over the place. And you're going to have your own little umbrella academy with dogs.
Yes, I'm going to give them all superpower names.
Number 5?
We also have another foster. His name is Gus. He is a hound shepherd mix and has one eye.
Oh, shit.
He had an eye removed 9 weeks ago.
Jesus Christ.
He's loud.
What is with your place?
Yeah, we're running it's not a puppy mill, this is a rescue operation, people. We're doing good and helping dogs get forever homes. Anyways, with that, let's take a quick break. That's my dog history. We'll play some promos and we're going to come back and geek out about fucking Invincible. Great show right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I'm Imran.
And I'm Sophia.
I'm the brother.
And I'm the sister. And we are watching a show about cousins.
We're your hosts for Dance of Joy, a Perfect Strangers rewatch podcast.
We grew up watching the 80s hit sitcom, and now we'd like you to join us every week as we rediscover our love for our favorite TV cousins, Balky and Larry.
You can find our show at danceofjoypod.com and on all major podcast platforms. Now we are so happy, Sophia. We do the Dance of Joy.
Imran, this is a podcast. They can't see us.
Oh.
We'll get you back to your regularly scheduled podcast in just a minute. But we wanted to introduce ourselves. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake on this highly produced advertisement.
That's right. It's the History of Bad Ideas, a.k.a. Hobie. You can find us on Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast and on Facebook at the History of Bad Ideas. But if you like a podcast roundtable with 3 to 5 guests, usually every week, depending on sick leave, talking about all things geek, including movies,
TV.
I ain't getting paid for this shit.
Blake bitching about something and ranting, and comic books and anything else that we can think of. We have a top 5 list every week, along with a box office news, and somehow we have listeners, so they send us some feedback we answer every week. You can find us on iTunes,
Stitcher,
Facebook,
Spotify,
and any good podcast app, because if you can't find us on that podcast app, it's not a good podcast app.
Damn straight. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Doc and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show and want to give back, want to show love for all the entertainment value we have been providing for the last 6 years, join our fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
To sign up for the fan club, where as little as $3 a month, you get a RSS feed that has bonus content. The shows come out early. There's a sports show, tons of instant reactions, movie reviews, and you can sign up
whatever we choose.
You can sign up monthly or yearly, and it's a lot of fun. Sign up and jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
Okay, let's get to the review. We have our first full season of Robert Kirkman's Invincible on Amazon Prime, released a few weeks ago. Here's your spoilers.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Prepare to be spoiled.
This is the show based on Image comic series created also by Robert Kirkman and artist Cory Walker. Started in 2003, and currently Ryan Otley is drawing on it. And I don't know if it's still ongoing, Ruggs. I looked it up last issue.
No, it's done.
Okay, so the last issue was 144 that came out February 2018. So that's it. The whole run is done. On Rotten Tomatoes, this series is sitting at 96%.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
7.79 out of 10 on the average rating score. This series, again, was also written by Robert Kirkman and Ryan Otley and Cory Walker, writing on all 8 episodes. So you have the original creators giving you the story of Mark Grayson. We'll get into who plays who. The cast is amazing. Main cast features Stephen Yeun as Mark Grayson, Sandra Oh as the mom, Debbie Grayson, and J.K. Simmons, fantastic, as Nolan Grayson / Omni-Man. And the basic premise is Mark Grayson turns 17, gets powers because his dad, Nolan Grayson, is the planet's superhero from another planet, and shit happens. Anthony, I'm going to start with you. Give me your opening thoughts. I'm so excited that you were so excited by the show. So, with that amazing fucking finale to this 8-episode series, what are your thoughts coming out of it?
Yeah, I wasn't all that hyped about this show coming in, just because I didn't know anything, and the trailers did actually a pretty good job of hiding what this show really was. I wouldn't have known anything unless if I hadn't talked to you guys. This show's fucking awesome. I fucking love it. This show was probably one of my favorite shows I've ever seen in terms of just overall show, and then an adaptation of a comic. I think what is in this show's favor is the fact that I don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
I haven't read the comics, so I'm legitimately surprised. And yeah, it's a great show. It's well casted in terms of voice acting. The animation is on par with what you would normally see from a lot of other well done shows, except it's just super violent. They do a good job of subverting expectations. They have a good score. They have an interesting story. Every episode has its own little mini storyline that kind of riffs on superhero tropes, but then also has like a dark turn. Like, it's just fucking awesome. I legitimately love this show. I can't say enough good things about it.
It was a pleasant surprise, and you and me both for the first time going in blind. I have not read the comics. Ruggs is the only one that has read the comics out of the three of us. And I'm all hyperbole, yeah? So I'm trying not to say this is probably the most perfect superhero TV show I've ever seen. But this is probably the most perfect fucking superhero show I have ever seen.
Well, I'll tell you this, okay? I read the first year of this, right? And I reread it recently. The comic was good.
Yeah.
But this is better than the comic.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. Because the people who wrote it worked on
the show.
They saw what worked in their book, and they just, if we move this here, it's going to pay off better there. And if we do this there, it's going to mean more later here. And if we kind of bury this person and kind of spend more time with this person, is better. And then they corrected a lot of things. There's characters that didn't really have a lot of like time in the comics that are major characters now that kind of are pillars of the show.
Yeah.
And it's better. It's better in every single way. It's better.
Wow.
It's better.
I never hear you say that it's better.
Right?
It's better representationally. For diversity's sake,
they changed genders and races of certain characters.
Yeah, it's better in that way. It's better in just the way that it unfolds. It's better, and obviously, you know, you're reading a comic book, but you have performances that add so much nuance.
Yeah,
and they've fleshed it out a lot more. It makes more sense. Like when you read the comic, you'll read it in a flash. It's just like really quick moving. Lots of big panels, lots of
Walking Dead is similar, you know.
Yeah, so you take the comic and you put it on steroids. This is what this is.
So I was excited because look, I think the experience Kirkman picked up of Walking Dead, taking, you know, he does this whole Walking Dead show. He's got a series, but he gets a second shot. So if you're as a creator, as the writer creator, you're like, I can do this again. How can I make this better? And I feel like he learned a lot on how to adapt and applied it here fucking perfectly almost.
So it's better, huh?
I do think it is in a lot of ways because, I mean, look, obviously there's a lot more story to be told, but you get most of the stuff that they had in that first 12 issues. Like I'm going to say at least 80% of it is in there.
Wow.
It doesn't unfold the same way. It's a little different, but I think it works better in the show. It does. Certain things happen a lot earlier than they should, but some of it pays off better.
Yeah.
So it works. And as far as my opinion of the show, I feel like I love the design of it. I love the animation design.
Yeah.
It looks great. It looks like Ryan Otley stuff.
It looks like the art from the book. And it evokes this crazy, like, it's like an adult 90s Saturday morning cartoon or afternoon cartoon. Like, if you think about the X-Men show from the 90s or Batman Beyond.
Like X-Men Evolution.
It feels familiar instantly. The look of it, even though it's not like the most rendered, detailed animation, the expressiveness and the fluidity is fucking gorgeous, and it nails it.
Yeah, they cut corners
a little bit. And this, you know,
like and a lot of the flying scenes are like probably the worst animated stuff because they just kind of like have him and they just kind of move him.
But that's what it would look like. He would be over there instantly, you know, it'd just be like.
But overall, like you get your money's worth. Like you definitely get like the fights are brutal.
Fucking A.
That's where they put all of their heart and soul into like the stuff. Yeah, the show is great. I mean, like when I watch any other shows, I'm talking about real shows, like with live action.
This is up there with many great live action shows.
Think about every character in the show.
Yes.
Every character in the show has a place in your heart. Right? So like the fucking guy who works for the government. You fucking know what he's about.
Fucking Cecil.
The fucking demon that's trying to solve the murder.
Damien
You have
Darkblood, Clancy Brown.
You have the girlfriend, the best friend,
the gay best friend. You got
even the gay best friend's crush that he wanted to hook up with. You feel something for like
the mom has agency. She's not an idiot. You know, she's actually. It's amazing.
So yeah, like every character, it is developed to an extent. They're not just decoration.
Walt Goggins was Cecil. He's really good at Cecil.
Even like the blue guys.
Oh, the Mahler twins were fucking fantastic. So yeah, let's talk about before I want to dive into the final fucking episode because it was just fucking wild. But let's just dive into the stuff we love and some of the characters. I love that the title card got bloodier every episode, just a little detail. But the fucking music, the music choices they use is fantastic. The relationships between the characters works so well. Anthony, what else? What else sticks out?
I mean, I echo everything. I mean, the character work is amazing. You definitely care for all the characters. You definitely fucking hate Gray. What's his name? The head Viltrumite. Omni-Man. You fucking
Nolan.
hate that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is like the scum of the earth.
This is a guy that gives Homelander a run for his fucking money, this guy.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, The Boys is good too. I think it's up there with a lot of great live action shows. I think you also can get away with a little more though with animation.
Absolutely.
So I'm always like, but I like it feels like a throwback in terms of like the animation feel. Yeah. But then you have like these complex like themes, and you have these subverting of all the superhero tropes, and you have the violence. So it's like a throwback look, but different. Like it just feels so different than what I've normally seen. Again, the music, the fight scenes are fucking brutal. I love Steven Yeun as Mark.
Yeah, he does such a good job.
He does a great job being a teenager. The voice casting is great.
The last episode had me in tears. I could almost not watch what was happening in the last episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's all. There's so many. I can't even. I remember the last episode. If you want to talk about that. About 10 minutes in, I texted all my friends that watch Invincible. I go, this show is fucking bananas. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. Like the amount of violence. I mean, they're just not afraid of touching anything. But they don't. It's not like The Boys. In some instances, like the girl gets her face fucked to death, or the guy gets his face fucked to death. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like it's. They're doing that just to, like they know that's the button to push.
Shocker, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shocker. Invincible is also shocking, but it's just they go about it in a way that even though it's still shocking and it's gross and it's fucking terrible, it's kind of a little bit more tactful than like The Boys.
However, though, that last episode, you could not do that live action. Just cost wise, it's not possible.
Right. No,
violence wise, it's not possible.
Yeah, they could pretty much go anywhere, which is great. The one thing that was funny to me is every time I turned the show on, I would say violence and sexuality. Yes. I'm like, okay, when are we going to see boobs? We're not going to see them?
We saw there was some, wasn't Duplicate naked at one point? No, when she got
caught
cheating?
I don't think so.
No, you don't get any titties.
No, I don't. But I'm just saying, like, don't put that there because I'm the whole time I'm like waiting for something to happen. It doesn't happen.
Literally every episode was like, I was like, oh, they're going this like. The fucking robot's like this deformed little baby.
Fuck yeah!
Or like, I love Robot.
Oh my god,
I love
he's
Robot.
great.
Or you have like the weird like genius in college that's like cutting people like a stem part of the brain out.
Sinclair.
Like,
that was Ezra
or you
Miller.
have like aliens on Venus. Like it's just like they just have so many different things going on, and yet like it almost feels like. On paper, it's almost too stretched out because you have 8 episodes and you're covering all this ground.
They do it.
But they definitely nailed it.
Let me tell you, one of the driving forces that I love that had me going was how they set up the beginning. The first episode, you meet Mark, you meet his friends, you very quickly see him get powers. It's all great, very traditional. And then you watch fucking Nolan violently kill the Guardians of the Globe, who they've set up as this universe's big hero. And this is now the Game of Thrones Red Wedding moment. And the whole time you are left wondering, why the fuck did he do this? And in fact, the theories I had, Debbie does when she finally confronts him. She says everything I was thinking. She's like, what is it? Were you mind controlled? Are you framed? Did they have something on us? This couldn't have been you. And that mystery kept me so hooked the whole time. And they played it so well. The reveal of it was pretty good. I mean, it was impactful. Maybe it could have been more impactful, but just the way the battle scene around it worked so well and made it even crazier.
The only minor criticism I have is the finale was fun up until like the end. Like the second half, I think was good. I still think it was a good finale.
Wrap up, yeah.
But it felt like more like it didn't feel like it wrapped up the season. It was like and on to season 2,
yeah, it was set
right?
up a
like
little bit, yeah.
If you were looking for some of that closure between Mark and Nolan, you definitely weren't going to get that in this episode, and it ends on a cliffhanger that's like, is that interesting? I kind of like personally, I want to see fucking Mark kill Nolan. Like I want to see Nolan get his comeuppance, but we'll see what happens.
I think the great thing about this is that at the end of that scene where he's beating the shit out of him and he knocks his teeth out, and it makes him remember him when he was a little kid and he didn't have all of his teeth and he lost his teeth, and that's the visual that brings him back to that baseball game.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit. Like, I remember when this kid fucking gave me fucking something to look forward to and live through. And he decides that he can't destroy Earth and he leaves. You know, he's just like, fuck it. I can't do this.
Yeah. And now what's going to happen?
They could have been more specific about it, but I think, didn't Cecil say that they tracked it and they couldn't find where he went? He must have just kept going.
Yeah, he definitely left, although I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. It's not the direction I wanted to see happen with Nolan. I want to see him die.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm willing to let it play out just because they've gone in already so many directions where I was like, I thought I knew what was going to happen, and then I didn't. And I was like pleasantly surprised in the direction they took it.
Well, from what I gathered in the show, that this is from the show, so I'm not saying anything I read from the comic books, but they introduced Nolan's home planet.
So to
Viltrum.
explain, here's what we learned in the final episode. We'll just talk about it. Ruggs, explain why he's really there, because we are told he's a Viltrumite and he's there to protect the planet, and this is a benevolent race of
well, he lied to them.
Yes. So what is his real mission?
So basically the Viltrumites are this race of people that they reached the pinnacle of utopia, and then they were like, okay, well, we got that. Now what do we do? And they're like, well, we want to impose our will to the whole entire galaxy, but they couldn't do it because they weren't strong enough. So like, we need to get rid of all the weak. So
everyone kill everyone else.
Yeah. So
that was crazy.
So they went this whole different direction, this military direction,
survival of the fittest. Yes.
Where only the strong survive, and basically they were able to in this way take over like most of the galaxy. And at a certain point in time, their resources had run out, and so what they decided to do is like send an emissary, like somebody to kind of destroy the planet from the inside instead of trying to take it over by force.
To keep it weak.
So he's basically there to kind of like work against the planet and take it over eventually. And I think that he was doing it in a way where he got everybody to love him and then him be the only hero. So everybody started to depend on. I think that's why he took out those guys. He wanted to be the only person that the whole world to depend on, and then he could kind of bend the will towards them.
I feel like for a while though, he did kind of enjoy being on Earth and kind of got lost in it, and then kind of snapped out of it once Mark was born and started to get his powers.
Well, yeah, I think that's right there. He's like, number one, he was dreading him getting his powers, I think.
Yes, because now he has to make a decision.
Yeah, and then at that point, he's like, listen, if I sit here and I raise him and continue this charade, he could stop me. So if I'm going to kill him, like he had no reason to kill him because he had no powers. He was but now that he does have powers, he has to make a decision.
Well, actually, I kind of read it a little differently. I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I was more like, I think he was just going to be like, like this sucks if he doesn't get powers. Because then he's just like, oh, what a waste of time. Because he even mentions to him, he's like, well, like if you don't want to do this, your life is just a blip in my life. I can go find another person to fuck and create a kid. Yeah. Like I don't need you. Yeah. So I kind of interpreted it the other way. And then I think when he was beating his ass and then he started remembering the good times, he was like, that was like maybe like the shred of humanity that he developed with Sandra Oh, his wife, had kind of taken him over a little bit.
Yeah, and I just love when he said like, well, what are you going to have after 500 years? He's like, you.
That was the
we'll
moment.
be together.
That was
we'll
the
be,
moment.
up until this point in my life, I loved you. Like, you were my hero.
Yeah. And the betrayal.
And I think that resonated a little bit too.
And, the world saw this betrayal also because it was broadcast. So we find out Mark is going to live for thousands of years, which is a shocking thing. This is all shocking to learn all at once, right? Debbie is watching this and he's like, your mom is just a pet to me. It's fucking devastating while he's getting his ass beat. Just that whole sequence of him, when he saves the fighter pilot, you see the difference in these two. And then Nolan just fucking crushes his head. Like he's not even.
Oh, it's so fucking brutal. Crushes the guy's head.
And the brain splashes on his face.
Yeah. And he shoves Mark through a moving train that basically snaps everyone in half.
Jesus Christ. So, first of all, using him as a wrecking ball to show him how pathetic and weak and meaningless humans are. The building drops. The arm is severed.
Ugh.
That was fucking devastating. And then this is a Chicago subway. He's just holding him up through a subway and you're watching organs and limbs and guts spilling. It was holy shit.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. I was like, what the fuck am I watching here? This is insane. And then at the end when he can't talk.
After watching Godzilla vs. Kong, where multiple buildings topple over and there's no attention paid to all the slaughter that's happening.
So this is why I appreciate
this is the inverse of that, right?
Yeah, this is the human civilian death toll on this show is huge.
The weight is so much
is worse.
crazier.
This is a Zack Snyder death toll plus 1,000.
Well, they also it's because the beginning of the first episode is very superhero-y. The villains don't really die, no one dies. It's like what you would see in a normal superhero show, but then it just takes that turn when Nolan actually kills everybody, and then you see from the remainder of the show people, these aliens invade and people fucking die.
Yes.
If this was if this was in air quotes a real show, I guess that's probably what would happen, right? There would be a lot of collateral damage in the form of human bodies
and
everywhere.
You feel it when he can't save them, and Nolan just walks over them, and those aliens are just killing people. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, but I think that the difference between something like this and what Zack Snyder does, Zack Snyder is kind of doing this thing to kind of be edgy,
right?
Yes,
and
it's
I
not
think
earned like this.
I think that all of this is doing it to prove a point in the story and to make the story beats better.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the little distinction, because we were cracking on Snyder a few weeks ago about him having to use so much violence and why does Batman need to curse and say fuck you or blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, we're watching this show, and this show is doing everything, but the reason why we like it now is because it makes sense for the story, and it everything has a value to it. So this whole thing is. He's having a conversation with his son about the value of human life and how it means nothing to him.
Yeah, it's wild.
And this is just the exclamation point to that thought.
Absolutely.
So I think it's all about how you do it. It's not I don't have a problem with something like this being extreme because it means something to the story. That's what the Snyder bros need to kind of realize a little bit.
It's empty when
Snyder doesn't.
He does it.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't really. He does it because it looks cool, and he doesn't think about anything else but the visual. Where
it's just badass to him,
right? Whereas Mark, is his name Mark?
Mark Grayson. Yes.
Mark Grayson. He sees even in the early episodes, he sees the violence, and it's supposed to convey this job isn't everything you thought it was, man. This is a tough job, and it's a violent job.
And people die.
People die.
Yeah.
This isn't your typical superhero show. You're going to have to see some things that are really going to make you question if you want to do this. And the fact that he sees all of this stuff and continues to try to help makes you love his character even more.
Yep.
This is after being kind of gotten the fuzzy story from his dad, that how he just goes to work and he just, he saves lives and nothing bad happens. He doesn't tell them the real shit that people fucking get decapitated and splattered and shit. He doesn't tell them the fucking gory details.
Yeah.
The training sequence is great though, where he's he's teaching them how to take a hit and how to fly. I loved all that. So the at the end, also I think what's interesting is that when Nolan flew off, he kind of abandoned his mission, and I believe the Viltrumites are not going to be happy with him because he fucking took off and didn't do what he was supposed to. I loved in the animation when he had bloodshot eyes, you could see the veins and how it was just a little more exaggerated as he got crazier and crazier. It was
that wasn't in the comics. Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't.
That's a touch that they added that would made it better.
Wow. That beat down. I'm like, I know this is a cartoon, but this is hard to watch. This is physically making me ill to watch this because I love Mark and it was just so gory. So the second half of the episode deals with the finale, kind of the wrap up, the fallout. Something, what are we talking about? We don't really see the fallout. You see a nation and the media saying, how can something that was our protection from threats become our threat? It's like a 9/11 type. Everyone is in a daze. They're stunned. We learn there is a white room that the government, Cecil has. He shows Mark there's a frequency of light. They put chemicals in the tap water that people drink to prevent them from seeing a frequency of light they use so they can hide all their crazy experiments. He's making more fucking cyborg RoboCop dudes. And then Alan the Alien, hilariously voiced by Patton Oswalt, returns. I love his introduction where he's in the wrong planet. He's supposed to be at Urath, and he shows up.
I thought it was Seth Rogen.
Oh, maybe it's Seth Rogen. I think it is Seth Rogen, not Patton Oswalt. Seth Rogen, not Patton. They're similar schmucky guys.
They sound nothing alike.
No, I'm wrong. But Seth Rogen doing a great job. There's so many.
Where the fuck is this alien?
There's so many voices in here. Anyways, he tells them the coalition of planets is trying to get a team together to take down the Viltrumites now, and they would love to have a fucking actual Viltrumite fight with them against their people. And Mark's like, look, I got to finish school.
What episode did we meet that character again? That's the only thing about when it's weekly. I forget what happens.
I can tell you, Alan, and he meets him in episode 2. Alan tests world defenses for the Coalition of Planets, and he was supposed to be at Urath, but he's on Earth, and he's like, "Whoa, I made a big mistake. It's the wrong planet." But I want to talk about some other fun characters. Damien Darkblood, I loved, and I wish they brought him back. He was the only thing his plot point was to get Debbie to be.
Yeah, he kind of disappeared after.
I know. I wish he was going to come back, but if it wasn't for him, Debbie wouldn't have found Nolan's bloodied suit or believe it. She had suspicions and followed through with the tailor. So he was the cause of that. But I love Damien Darkblood, but then he disappears. The teen team, we got Robot, voiced by Zachary Quinto.
I was so sad to see him go.
And now his name is Rudy, and he is in the cloned teenage body of Rexplode because he wants to get together with Monster Girl, who's not really young.
That's so fucking funny that he chooses Rex's teenage body, and Rex is all like, what the
He's
fuck,
like,
man?
what the fuck, dude? What is this?
Well, Rex is getting all the pussy.
Yeah.
Like, he's the body he wanted to be in,
Monster
right?
Girl was like, looking at him, and he's like, well, I'm going to be Monster Girl. But that whole storyline with him getting the Mauler twins out, they were great. And the cloning.
Jason Mantzoukas is great.
Jason
as
Mantzoukas
Rex.
is amazing as Rexplode.
I love that, like, Rex is supposed to be, like, probably a teenager, maybe in his early 20s, too, and Jason Mantzoukas is, like, almost 50.
He's quite
like,
old.
And Steven Yeun's doing a teenager, and he's, 40s. Like, what, like, in his mid-30s?
Listen,
40s?
voices, they often get females to do young boy voices. Like, it's a voice, you could do anything. It doesn't matter.
I don't have any complaints. I just thought it was funny.
And how about the Immortal? There's so many things to talk about. The collar they give him to bring back the Immortal. A dude called the Immortal dies like 3 times on the show.
Oh, shit.
Like, bro, Nolan
Sounds like he's
kills
coming
him.
back, too.
Yeah, Nolan kills him twice. That was amazing when he just wakes up and he's like, where's Omni-Man? And just fucking flips out. They have this brutal fight. There's a kaiju. There's a fucking kaiju fight in that last 7th episode.
Yeah, there is.
So great.
When they go into the White Room.
Yeah.
Now, I might be getting flashbacks from the comics, but like when they're in the White Room and they turn on the lights, is the Immortal in that room?
Ooh, I don't remember. He might have been.
I wonder. That's after we rewatch that.
He's gonna come back.
Yeah, he's in there.
He's in the White Room. Oh,
Yeah, they're trying to fix him up.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait. So he is coming back.
I think so.
He is called the Immortal, and he's died twice.
Yes, he's gonna. He is gonna come back. But I like Robot a lot. I think that he was great. I liked who the fuck is the other guy that I really liked a lot? Oh my god,
Black Samson, Battle Beast.
Battle Beast.
I like Battle Beast because we get a nice taste of like how badass he is.
Yeah,
and that guy's coming back.
Battle Beast is
coming
unstoppable.
back. He's coming back, but I don't think he's coming back right away. but he's definitely coming back. He is fucking badass, and he's looking for a worthy opponent.
Yes, he
that's
can't find anyone because he beat the shit out of Mark and almost killed him right there.
I like Mahershala Ali as Titan.
Titan is fantastic. Mahershala Ali is great. And it looks like he's now the head of the mob at the end, right? There was a crazy montage showing things I didn't know what they were. It was like things coming up, bad guys.
It was basically like lining up who all the villains would be in season 2. Like this is all the things he's going to have to deal with. I liked the guy. I forget who was doing it, what his name was, but I liked the robot head guy that was like the mob boss.
Machine Head, yeah. Machine Head was great.
Jeffrey Donovan.
He was auto-tuned, which is great.
Yeah.
And here's the couple other stuff I love is like you don't need to set up the backstory of every fucking thing. Like sometimes you drop me in, there's a dude named Machine Head, he's running the mob, I get it. I don't really need any more explanation. So they did that a lot really well. Like you learn about Duplicate's powers slowly, throughout the show and the other characters.
You know what I also liked is like a lot of superhero shows make the girl not all that likable. I liked
Amber.
Both. I liked Amber and I liked
Adam Eve.
And Adam Eve. I liked both. I liked who voiced them. I liked the personalities of both. I liked that Amber wasn't a dumbass and was like, dude, I knew we were
She
Invincible.
knew.
Come on.
That was great. So Zazie Beetz voiced Amber. Jillian Jacobs from Community voiced Adam Eve. And Amber in the comics rugs is a white girl, I believe.
Yeah.
I liked both of them. I mean, I was literally like, I almost felt like, this is going to sound really fucking weird. I felt like a teenager again watching those. And I'm like, I would like to hook up with those girls. I would want to date with those girls.
A nice three-way relationship. Will they, won't they? I wish there was some resolution. What happens at the end with Amber? She makes up with him. That's right.
Yeah, she supports him.
She saved the fucking planet, sort of. And
well, if she knew that he was, he was saving lives, why does she want him to be in a soup kitchen? Would she rather be like?
Yeah, when did she know? Why
dying?
is she mad?
She wanted him to
tell her.
It was like so obvious that it was like, dude, you're lying to me. Just tell me.
His gay boy best friend knows. She knows, and Adam Eve knows are the people who know.
I don't think that's the right way to refer to someone as the gay best friend.
But I like that I like that they had.
If we're being woke.
I'm saying, yeah, but I appreciated that they had this character who was not like a stereotype gay best friend.
William is his name.
William.
Yeah.
William was like
his name.
William was a fleshed out character played by Andrew Reynolds. So
I like that William insists on people calling him William, and I respect that because why would you want to be the dick? Why would
Bill?
you?
I mean Richard.
Oh, Richard.
You got the wrong short name of the name.
William Richard.
Yeah,
yes.
Bill is. I don't know what you're talking.
Why would you want to be a Bill?
A Bill. But I mean, that was handled great too, and like everything was so natural, and the chemistry with everybody was great, and the Mahler twins are hilarious because which one is the clone? I don't even think the original exists. They're all just clones and clones. They're like, you're the clone. No, you're the clone.
They clone each other to the point where they have to think that they are the original, else it wouldn't work.
I love when they're like, that's why you're the clone, and like every so often just causing doubt.
It's so. I mean, it's really fucking good.
Fucking great show. Fucking
the
great
music
show.
choices are all like modern mainstream music, like not mainstream, but like modern artists, and it all ends up working. I like that Amazon, like if you pause it, you'll see the music that's being played.
De La Soul Run the Jewels. They use the Hives. Hate to Say I Sold You So at the end, which is a great fucking rock song. I loved all the music every time it came out. I was like, this is a great song. What is this?
I'm looking forward to the next season. It's sparked renewed interest in the comics that I have, and I'm going back and rereading them now, and it's cool. Like I thought that, okay, I'm going to reread this and I'm going to like it better than the show, and then that's not what happened. I
can't believe you said
really,
it's better. That's amazing.
Because number one, it's written by the same guy who wrote the comic.
Yeah,
and he is sticking to the best parts of that story.
Again, it's a second go. He's like, I can do this again and make it better. How can I make this? That's a great opportunity.
Well, we know we're going to get at least 2 more seasons, but I feel like
it got renewed for 2 and 3.
From what I've gathered, there's a lot to mine out of this comic.
I even, without looking anything up, I get a sense that there is so much you could do. Like, there's so many questions I have. I know there's like, I want to learn more about Viltrumite and what's going to happen with Nolan and all these other teams and the more bad guys that they got. You feel like there's a lot that they got to go through still.
Oh, it's going to be like, you think about all the tropes, right? First of all, they're not even scratching the surface. They're going to take on all of the tropes, like all of the comic tropes.
Yep.
Think about remember Spider-Man?
Yeah.
What happened with Spider-Man?
When Stacy dies?
No, but they do that. But what is the most notoriously like freaking tropey Spider-Man thing that
With
they
the
do?
Uncle Ben thing?
No, with the clones, right?
Oh.
With the 1,000 Spider-Mans, that's going to happen.
That shit's happening.
So, like, all the tropes, they're going to address everything.
I mean, there's clearly aliens out there, you know. That Mars episode was great. It was really funny, too, that he just pissed off these fucking Martians and had to run.
Those Martians are going to be a problem.
Yeah. And, like,
They
the portals,
invaded.
the way they came in, it was like Avengers Endgame, and they figured out, and they aged rapidly and then figured out how to fix that. It's great.
And then he went to Mars and those fucking little squiddy things.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are bastards, too. He barely got out of that one.
College episode was also great, where you met D.A. Sinclair and the RoboCop cyborgs.
There was literally every episode.
Every episode's fantastic.
Do you have a favorite episode?
Fuck, I don't know. Was the ending satisfying?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I think so. I mean, my favorite, I think, was the one where he teams up with Titan to like.
That's my favorite episode.
the
Yeah,
Titan
stop
episode.
crime, and Nolan's like, dude, this isn't worth your time, and he tries to, and he tries to do the right thing, and he gets his fucking ass.
That's episode 5.
So handed to him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because Nolan is like out there watching him get beat, right? He's just like hanging out, waiting.
He's just like, okay, if he wants to do this,
Yeah, go ahead.
His ass kicked, whatever.
That's also the episode Debbie finds the suit. Yeah, that's episode 5.
What they did a really good job. I mean, they did good job in everything, but every episode kind of had its own contained story.
Yes, that's
but then
what I'm
there was
saying.
a plot thread going through that they always came back to in each episode.
This is how you write episodic television. For fuck's sake. This is how you do it. This is wasn't the best. This is how you do it. That's all you have to do. This is the problem with Falcon and Winter Soldier is like it was just a fucking long movie and they didn't think about the individual episodes.
I mean, can they keep this up? Do you think they could?
I don't know. If the first seasons are usually the best seasons. Can it get better? Hopefully they can and it doesn't, jump the shark.
I mean, if you think about shows, they're not animated, but I'm thinking about like The Boys season 2. I liked a lot. I liked Umbrella Academy season 2 a lot. So I'm just trying to think of like other shows that are like about comics that are kind of niche and have second seasons. I don't remember. Walking Dead season 2, they were on the farm a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the farm, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be fine. I think they got a lot to mine.
I think you can get a good 3. I'm like, so we just said they were renewed for seasons 2 and 3. And, I talk about how much I love that Harley Quinn R-rated sweary show. It's completely different. It's a half-hour comedy. This is, though, it's better. It's as good, if not better than that. That's how good that show is. But, in terms of differences.
This is way better.
This is
Imran.
better.
Come
but
on.
it's different because that's a half-hour comedy, and it kills on the comedy, on the jokes, and so it kills as a comedy. This thing, though, as an hour drama, whatever.
This thing is a little bit of everything. It's funny.
It's everything.
It's heartfelt. There's action. It's kind of like horror at times. So, I mean, it's just it touches everything.
Yeah, I feel like it's really strong. I feel like out of all the shows that we've seen in the past few years, I feel like this is in a conversation at least of like a great first season.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
For what it is, I think it did a really good job. I mean, because for me, the way that I review the show is, okay, number one, as on its own. Like if I were to watch it not knowing anything about Invincible, what is it? Is it good? But then what throws it over the edge for me is that I did read the first 12 issues and a bunch of other stuff. And it works, if not as good or better. And I think that that's really a great feather to have in your cap. So that's why I fully endorse this show.
I mean, we saw him do that with The Walking Dead. Remember the governor in the comics, Walking Dead, is this two-dimensional, over-the-top fucking evil bad guy. They made him a little more. Negan arguably maybe worked better in the comics than the TV show. So it doesn't always work both ways. I don't know.
Well, yeah, if you go on for 20,000
seasons. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, and he's done with that show. So
there's a couple of things I just want to say, too. First off, like one of the best moments of the show, like I had a little bit of doubt, but I knew that he was going to do it. But like when Mark stands up to his dad, and it's just like, no, I'm going to fucking fight you now. Like we have to protect. Like I was just like literally, like, even though you know he's going to get his ass kicked, it was almost like a round of applause moment where it's like, fuck yeah. Like, he's just validated how much I've invested in him by doing the right thing. So, like, that was awesome. And I actually rewatched the first episode with my cousin over the weekend. And to try to get him into it. And he got into it. He's definitely into it. But actually, that first episode, maybe up until like that shocking moment at the end, it's so different in tone than the rest of the series that it's like you watch that first 40 minutes and you're like, this is not a good representation of what this show really is. Like, it almost is like feels completely different than the rest of the show.
I think they did it on purpose.
No, they definitely did it on purpose.
Like, it's a traditional.
But in retrospect, that first episode isn't like the one to watch
until the end, and you're like, oh fuck. But they set it up pretty efficiently, and
they did a great job.
You know, I like that they fool you into like, oh, this is a traditional. Hey, you've seen all these tropes, you know all this. He gets powers.
One of the things that they did though that I didn't like with that is that didn't they do it as a post-credit scene?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't actually pick up on the post-credit stuff.
There was a lot of post-credit scenes in this.
There always was.
Yeah, every episode had an extra stinger at the end.
Except the last one, I think.
Yeah. So if you had turned it off immediately when the credits started, but you look at the time, you're like, wait, what? There's got to be something more. So I didn't mind that.
I feel like a lot of people who might have not have stuck with it is because they turned it off before that happened.
Well, they're fucking idiots.
Like anybody who says like, I watched the first episode, it wasn't that great.
Did you though?
Did you watch?
I really don't have anything critical or to say bad. Really, I can't think of anything.
I mean, I'm reading through some stuff. Like I'm looking at the Ringer right now because I actually tried to avoid reviews up until our show.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of criticizing at times that the animation looked a little bad. Like it was a little low budget.
It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me.
It never really bothered me.
It fit the tone of it. I think it fits it. It's consistent.
If you watch a lot of animation, you'll notice.
Yeah, but there were times at the end where there was a little more detail. I really liked the design. You know, where the shading was, how the eyes were, what they added a lot of highlights, different levels of shading. And at the time at the end, there are some times where it almost looks like anime. It's really well rendered.
It's not the keyframes. It's the in betweening.
That's what tweening is the problem. Yeah,
so like. When you animate, you're animating at 24 frames per second or 15 frames per second, whichever you do. They're using a lot of computer stuff to not animate, and when you see it, it's jarringly bad. So, but it's serviceable. Like, I think that now that it's gotten all this acclaim, they're probably going to pump a little bit more money into the animation, hopefully, and get it up to a little bit higher level. But like, it's not the keyframes. So they're drawn impeccably. The backgrounds are drawn great. Everything's drawn well. It's just how many frames are they using to animate it? And they're cutting corners here and there with like, certain things.
Where does this rank? I mean, it's obviously not completed, but like in terms of a season of adult themed TV show and whether it be animated or not.
It's as good as The Boys. It's as good as,
I would say it's definitely in the conversation.
I mean, as good as a season of Game of Thrones. What it was
Game of Thrones isn't based on a comic, but yeah.
But that's a bit
like, okay, what do you think is the best first season? Is it Daredevil?
Daredevil season one's pretty fucking good. Although the finale is a little...
It still has too many episodes. It's not perfect.
I mean, Jessica Jones season 1 is really good.
Yeah.
Which one had
The
me
Boys
pumped?
season 1 is good. I mean, there's so many good things. That doesn't.
I liked Umbrella Academy season 1. I really enjoyed that.
I thought it was okay.
I didn't like it as much as The Boys season.
No, I definitely was not an Umbrella Academy.
The Boys season 1, I was all in. I was like, I couldn't wait for the next episode.
I can't honestly think of another recent superhero show that has given you such a perfect, fleshed out season of characters and action.
I don't want to be a victim of the moment, but I feel like this is like one of the best things we've seen.
Let's just rate it.
The Mando was pretty good.
First season of Mando was pretty good.
But this is like, for me, I think that the fact that it does the source material justice, it for me, I feel validated in it more. Like The Boys does the same thing. The Boys kind of does it took a lot more liberties, but this one does it.
The first season of Walking Dead was really good.
Yeah,
and this is as good.
Yeah,
let's rate it. Rate the fucking show, Anthony. What number would you give this fucking thing?
10 out of 10.
Oh my!
I fucking loved it.
God, I can't believe.
I honestly loved it.
I wasn't even going to go there, but yeah.
I loved it. I loved it so much.
Shit.
Here's how much I loved it. I kind of forgot a lot of the stuff that happened in prior episodes just because of the week-to-week format and the fact that like I'm not familiar with the material, so I don't. It's not like second nature to me to like, oh, they're riffing this comic, and I'm still like, I don't remember everything, but I still think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Straight perfect score. Fuck, I was going to go 9.5, but I'm going to give it a 10 too. Maybe it's so close to perfect. I can't find. Well, I have some comments from the listeners. Maybe they can find some faults. I'm having a hard time. Fuck it. I'll say 10 too. I'm going to say this is as near perfect as you can.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay.
But that's as high as I usually go anyway. So
I could never see Ruggs giving a 10. So
yeah,
give it a 12 if I could. Fucking good. Amazing. I don't know when season 2 is going to come out. I can't be soon enough. Probably a year.
I would imagine animation, they could get it out pretty quick, right?
Well, sometimes it takes time, though, too. But this animation, it shouldn't take too long.
Well,
I don't know.
Use the computer to tween everything.
Well, because the Pixar movies take like 5 years to make a fucking movie. But that's Pixar.
There's clearly a different level.
Well, I think that they could get them done, I would say, this amount of stuff, it would take about a year and a half.
Yeah, 40 minutes. That's a lot for animation. 40 minutes. I was surprised that it was 40 minutes, 50 minutes long. That's fucking a lot to draw.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Let's do some news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
We will have that audio of Rug Boy's fart available as an NFT to purchase. There's only one file. It's encrypted. Get your Bitcoins, people. Okay, comments from our listeners from our Facebook group, Jock and Nerd Nation, about Invincible. Ethan Cranford, who, first of all, it's amazing because this is Wes Cranford's, the Yank from Down Under. It's his son. We have both Cranfords.
Oh, really?
I think it's his son.
What?
Shit. Right? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Is that
true?
a guess?
If I'm wrong, somebody write in. I'm assuming this is Wes's son. Yes, we have two
Let's see if he makes any spelling errors.
Yeah, no, he's probably learned.
Related.
He's learned from his old man. We have both Cranfords, the Cranford clan. Ethan said, "Absolutely love this season, but I found the last episode pretty anticlimactic. After a full season of building up to this moment, it felt less like they had a conclusion and more like they just put all the pieces in place for season 2. Overall, I had a great time with this show, though, and I cannot wait to see where the story goes from here." That's kind of like what you said, Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, that was just my minor criticism.
Yeah. I mean, we did get the moment.
It definitely was a you thought you might get some closure, and it was more, we're setting up for more.
But the moment I wanted was Mark confronting Nolan and finding out, and I needed to find out and they gave us that in spectacular fashion. Paul Gunter, absolutely love the show. Can't wait to see season 2. Lenny Romero, Lensations. Oh, shit. Invincible is unreal. So much more than I expected, and now I want more. Dr. Adam Morris, PhD, says, "I am blown away by how good it is. The voice acting is perfect in so many ways. Even the minor characters like Wally Goggins as Cecil, Seth Rogen as Alan. The remix of the events from the comics worked for me. A lot of the same stuff, but in a different order. And the twist's still amazing. I think they did a great job of capturing Omni-Man's torment between his duty and his kid. But that beating, woo. Oh, shit. Rick Martinez just said father issues. Yeah. And Chaz Hebard,
their bottom is very weak.
I love this show so much more than I expected to. Can't wait for more. So overall, I don't know. It's hard to find fault in...
Yeah, nobody really said it sucked. Yeah,
it's amazing. And even the criticism is like totally minor, kind of.
For what's his name on Mostly Superheroes?
Logan,
yeah. Logan, you guys got to be watching this. I recommended it on one of your Facebook posts. If you're talking about superheroes and you're not watching Invincible, get on it.
Logan Janice has got, and the crew, they got to be checking this out. Oh my God, this again. No, hyperbole and no hyperbole. Best fucking perfect, most superhero perfect show ever.
Although by this point, if you've listened to the entire show, we've spoiled everything. So
watch it anyways.
Sorry.
There's still a great twist.
Sorry, well, we put the spoiler alert.
Oh, no.
Lame. Hey, you fucked yourself.
Okay, let's finish up with some what are we watching. I watched a bunch of shit this week. What do you guys got? Anybody got anything
Oh,
Exciting.
I watched Monster versus Ape.
The low budget Godzilla versus Kong. That's a real movie. The trailer, it's out.
Yeah.
What?
I saw it.
Oh,
That's all I
you
have to
did.
tell you.
And is it gloriously low budgety?
It's probably the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like, there's literally what you see in the trailer. That's all that you see.
Have you seen about this or heard this trailer, Anthony? There's a B movie coming out, a generic movie trying to capitalize on the success of Godzilla versus Kong. It's called Monster versus Ape, or Ape versus Monster. Sorry, and it's a Godzilla versus Kong knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I kind of want to see this. It looks so
You
bad.
don't, because you don't. All it is basically like, it looks like they shot it in like a high school.
Oh, God.
And the high school's supposed to be the Pentagon. And they get Eric Roberts to be like some like high up government official, like military
There's
official.
like a person in here, an actual
Yeah,
name.
and basically they're just talking to Eric Roberts in like some kind of boardroom and throughout the whole movie. And every once in a while, they'll cut to like an exterior shot
of them fighting.
It'll be the same exterior shot that they use for
the
Langley.
CG looks so bad in the trailer. It's amazing.
And they literally have like just those shots.
That's it. So all the monster and ape shots are in the trailer.
So you're watching a movie that's an hour and a half long for like 3 minutes of like really bad CG that they don't even fight. I don't know.
This is a real movie that comes out, but when does it come out? I don't know.
I don't know where it comes out.
Yeah, where does it come out?
Release date is
supposed to be May 9th
oh my
or
God,
something.
I'm watching this trailer.
The CG is amazing.
What is it? What are they doing? What is this? I don't understand why you would make this. What are they trying to do?
I watch it just so I can talk about it on the show. But yeah,
you putting people through this?
It's only 88
don't watch
minutes.
it.
I don't understand how do you make money off of doing something like this?
Can you see
is
this?
this?
I can't figure this out.
this.
I don't know either.
Let me explain this to Anthony because I don't think he seems to know this. But like, what happens is that Asylum sees that a movie's coming out.
And they just make
so they
knockoff
just
movies.
make a movie that looks the same as that movie. So if you want to capitalize off of the fame of the other movie.
Yeah, I've heard of Asylum, but it's weird.
Here's some other titles from Asylum. One is called Atlantic Rim, not Pacific Rim. One's called Transmorpher, the Transformers. Now you have one called Avengers Grimm, which is about all the Grimm fairy tales combining.
I just
like
don't
the
understand it. I mean, maybe it's like its own little
It's
cult
called
thing.
the Mockbuster is the genre.
Well, they
of
did
this.
Sharknado. That's
Yeah,
they
Sharknado
did
are people, and like every time there's an Anaconda movie, they'll make
there's clearly a market for this. I just don't understand.
What? Oh, you can get it on VOD. I don't know where you watch this. I think you could get it on VOD.
I just don't
May
understand.
30th it will be on DVD. It's in theaters and VOD apparently.
I don't understand why you would waste your time on this.
What?
Well, Megan Ruggs watched it, so
I fast forwarded through the talking pretty much, but it was bad. Like I watched like a good 40 minutes of it, and I was like, "Woohoo! I'm fast forwarding."
I got it. Just give me the thing.
And I was like, "Wow!"
All right, so that's
bad.
not a
Floppy
recommend.
John.
Anthony, you got anything
No,
you
it's
watched this week?
I did. I didn't review it because I just got lazy. Maybe I should have.
Yeah, it's all right. Whatever.
I watched the Oscar award-winning documentary "My Octopus Teacher."
Oh, I heard a lot about this.
On Netflix.
What is this about? Is it any good? It won.
Does he fuck the octopus?
Does he fuck the octopus?
It is kind of like a love story between this dude and an octopus. But yeah, it's about this guy, and I think it's South Africa, that just happens to wants to reconnect with nature, and goes in the ocean and finds this octopus. Just visits this octopus every day for over a year.
It's the same octopus. How does he know it's the same fucking octopus?
I have no idea, but he knows it's the same one, and they develop a bond, and it's kind of strange, kind of cute.
What is he? What's the name? What does he name it?
He doesn't name it.
Oh, he doesn't.
It's a female octopus.
Okay,
but he doesn't name it.
He does definitely fuck it.
Oh shit!
It's interesting. It's only an hour and a half, and he films the perils of this octopus living in this, and it being hunted, and all this different.
I might
shit.
check it out.
Interesting.
It won, right? That was the one that won the Oscar.
It won.
Yeah, I might check it out. I like the Oscar-winning documentary.
I was toying about watching that, but then instead of watching that documentary, I watched something called Superhuman on Amazon.
Is that Stan Lee's show?
No, this is about having they talk a lot about psychic abilities and all that type of shit.
Oh, okay.
Like people who they're basically telling you that
ESPN.
all of these things they're not superpowers. Like every human can activate it if they want to.
10% of our brain.
Yeah, so they go into that and they have all this. They do all of this.
That's the movie Lucy that you watched, isn't it? No,
no, it's a documentary.
Oh, Lucy wasn't a documentary. I was misled.
No, not that I know.
Okay, check that one out.
What did you watch?
I watched this science fiction movie on Netflix called Stowaway, starring Anna Kendricks from Pitch Perfect. She can sing. Daniel Day Kim is in this, and Toni Collette. And it is about a mission to Mars in the future. They got a Mars colony, and it's a 3-person manned mission to Mars. And one of the launch engineers somehow gets stuck in the thing when it launches, and he's stuck with them. So it's based on a old sci-fi short story. The concept being the problem is, what if you have only enough air and oxygen for 3 people on this journey, and there's a 4th, and either he dies or you all die, because you don't have enough oxygen to get to where you're going, right? So that's the main thing. Now, they do something weird in this movie visually, and I think this is to save the budget. When they first get to the spaceship, the space station they're going to take to Mars, this thing is designed where they get in the cabin and it's on the end of a thing and it starts spinning, right, in this giant circle, creating centrifugal force and creating what? Creating fake gravity, right?
Oh, shit.
So all the shots in the space station, they don't have to fake them floating around. They're just walking through the set. And even when they go, because inevitably in these movies, like something breaks outside, they got to go outside for a spacewalk, fix the fucking thing. When they go outside, there's gravity is still affecting them. It's really weird to watch. It's a space movie that has gravity like all the time. But I guess this was done for the budget, because then you don't got to do the fucking floaty shit. So it's not like a super crazy action movie. It's more of like a thinker, like a we have to figure out this problem. What are we doing? You know, either this guy dies, one of us has got to die. What's going to happen? How are we can't go back.
It sounds interesting, though.
Yeah, wasn't bad. I'd give it a watch. The other thing I watched on Amazon, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, starring Michael B. Jordan.
Heard it wasn't good.
It's all right. So the action,
better or worse than Extraction?
Oh, fuck. Okay,
because I like Extraction.
It's close to Extraction. Extraction is probably a teeny bit better. Michael B. Jordan is fantastic. He's fucking jacked. He plays a guy named John Kelly. So, you know, Tom Clancy has a Jack Ryan character that's a FBI guy that kind of gets caught into this espionage. So he's like a suit guy. John Kelly here is an ex-military guy that he suffers a tragedy. It's a revenge based on an op they did, and then uncovers a conspiracy while he's trying to get revenge and stop these fucking terrorists or whatever, Russians. So the action is pretty dope. There's a couple of fucking crazy fucking action scenes. Maybe it kind of falls apart at the end. They can make a bunch of movies with this John Kelly, Michael B. Jordan as John Kelly, doing shit for the government on the slide. That they basically, he's the guy that gets stuff done that they can't do, you know. But there's some fucking badass scenes in here. So I give it.
Okay, I might check it out.
I'd give it like a 7-ish.
Okay.
And then the last thing I watched was on Netflix, the animated feature The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Is that good?
From Sony and Columbia Animation. Yeah, this is a lot of fun movie. This is a really fun, heartfelt, super charming story of this family. There's a robot kind of apocalypse. Robots take over, and this weird, dysfunctional, quirky family are the heroes in this robot apocalypse. The animation style is a lot like Into the Spider-Verse, but it's a little more focused. So it's gorgeous. They have a drawn line and it's 3D rendered, but then they also use really flat, fun animations, cartoony on top, but it fits with the story because the girl is like, she loves to make videos for YouTube. So these things pop up. Danny McBride plays the dad. He's really good, really heartfelt.
Oh, he's fun.
And the action scene at the end, some of it reminded me of Tron. It's beautiful to look at. The animation is fucking gorgeous. Like, it's really well done. And I think you will like it better, Rugs, than Into the Spider-Verse. It's not as fucking flashy and jittery. It's a lot more fluid. But definitely it's it's Phil Lord and Chris Miller producing, same guys. So
right.
They use that same.
So it's jerky.
It's not as jerky. as Into the Spider-Verse because they don't use all the crazy like the dots that make things look 3D and all that. It doesn't go that far. You're
not blurring everything for no apparent reason.
You could see everything, and it's rendered beautifully, and the voice acting is great. It's really good. A great family movie, great action. I liked it, so I'll give that a recommend.
I just remembered another movie that I watched. Okay. I'll say it. I saw this movie. It's on Netflix, starring Jessica Chastain. It came out like a while ago, but I just finally watched it. It's called Ava.
Oh, I might have heard of this.
She's a hit woman.
Ooh.
Like she's an assassin, and she's starting to go off the rails, and like kind of she's unstable. She's unstable, and the company that she works for is thinking about getting rid of her. But in the meantime, she has this like personal drama with her family that she's trying to work out. So it's kind of like it's a weird movie, but I actually kind of enjoyed it a little bit. So yeah,
it's like it's an action movie.
It's kind of an action movie, but not super an action movie. I mean, there's definitely some action scenes in it. I would say it's got more action in that last Frank Grillo movie that I watched with the Falcon.
No, but
it's got a little bit more than that.
One, what is that? What was that first one we all watched? That movie is still fun. I kind of want to watch it again. What's it called?
Where you lives the same day over again.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
What was that called? That was great.
God Mode or something?
No, it wasn't God Mode.
Boss Level?
Boss Level.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
That's worth a second watch. That was a fun movie. Okay, so next week, here's what's coming out. The big thing this week, if you enjoyed The Boys, you enjoyed Invincible, if you like this trend of independent, quirky comic books being adapted, we have another big one. Mark Millar's Jupiter's Legacy, Netflix.
I'm hoping this is good. I'm hoping it's good.
Is this a movie or a TV show?
TV show. I think all the episodes are going to drop. I saw a trailer when I was watching a video on YouTube. It looks fucking sick. The costumes look great. That showed me some great moments. So we'll see if we'll review the first episode or the whole season or whatever next week. We'll figure it out.
I'm very, very curious to see how it's handled because the comic books are not action oriented. Really, it's about there is.
It's more drama, family drama, probably, right?
Yeah, it's a lot about like I told you about it, right? It's about the fact that these heroes in the golden age were portrayed to be like these kind of otherworldly, like just altruistic beings, but they were really behind closed doors not.
Yeah, they're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, so it's about that legacy of leaving like this. Like, you know, make America great again, like this greatness that supposedly existed that never really.
Another thing that's like things we've seen. So watch an episode, watch it all. We'll discuss whatever we watch next week. See if it hooks you. There's a lot of stuff coming out, man. Also, you could check out my appearance on 2 Ps on a podcast with our buddy Gerald Morris. Top 5 songs with animals in the title. That is on his feed over there, and I will put a link in the show notes. Ruggs, where can the listener find you?
You can find me on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy.
Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the show. Share it with your friends. Post it to all your geeky fan groups, and we'll love you forever. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
We'll beep you next time.
What the fuck are you all standing around for?
I don't know.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
That was me.
Get the fuck out!